Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second episode of CKMY. Press the button. Well, folks, see, slick operation here. Slick professional operation here.
Slicker than snot on a doorknob.
Okay, I'm never coming around your house. Yeah, right. Yes, welcome to CKMY, where the amazing panel of comic book enthusiasts we have over here are literally going to chat shit for hours on end, and we're all going to love it. So, just introducing them as they appear on the screen. We have Comic Book Bob.
I am the other white meat.
Okay, we'll just mute him for the rest of the show. We have Mike from Rogue Comics Online, who should have, I'll tell you what, let's do that again, right? Ready? So, yeah, I've just done Bob. Hold on, folks. See, with this professional. Come on, Mike. You can do it. You can do it.
Hello.
There you go. That was worth the wait. And we have a Don from over at NerdTots.
So does this make me the dark meat?
Well,
Yes, it does, Betty.
does this make me the rotten meat?
You're the seasoned.
Oh, I'm the seasoned. Okay. Well, that's better than what I've been called by a lot of people. So... And Mike's just trying to control himself there. Look at him.
This is all Don's fault. All of it.
Yeah,
this is true.
Blame it Don.
Yeah.
I'll take that credit.
Yes. But no, right. So, yes, here we, just chat about anything you really want to chat about. I mean, Bob had a great thing about, what did you call it? Your post.
Yeah. Talk about what we have in our personal pull list.
Yeah, your pull lists, which... For those of you who are uneducated, means the stuff you've reserved from the store beforehand, so you can go in and pick it up to make sure it doesn't sell. Not that a lot of shit sells that well nowadays, from what I'm hearing.
Don't believe it. It's big manga is paying to say that. Don't even don't even listen to that.
There's
there's funny you say that about Big Manga. Let's go right into that.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't even say it's right. The creator of Berserk, passed this week, and so I've read the book of the first 10 volumes, I want to say, and there's 40 plus volumes, at least 40 for sure. And so I was like, man, you know what? I would love to get some hard copies. Just walk in and pick up some.
I'm sure you were able to pick some up at a reasonable price, if at all, right? Of course.
At all, it was a key point. Yeah, because I walked in and they're like, dude, we're selling out. And I was at one of those major comic book stores, not like a private owned one. And he's like, it's like, we got what we got. And I'm like, okay, what do you got? He's like, we got issues 2 and 4 or volumes 2 and 4. Now that granted, the volumes are 600 pages.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I was like, bummer. Okay. And so I had them call around and they're going to get me volume 3, but all their other stores, volume 1 is sold out already. So and they're like, we could possibly get you to deluxe. I'm like, I'm not paying $40 for a book.
Well, how many books are inside though?
No, it's 40 volumes. So I just got 2 volumes right now.
Right. No, the $40 book though, that's how many.
Oh, it's volume 1.
That's just one volume.
That's with $1
$40. Really?
Yeah, it's the deluxe. It's the deluxe edition, hardcover.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would look good on your shelf, though. Don. You know that, right?
Yes, but if I get 1 volume like that,
you have to get them all.
Exactly.
Like Pokemon, got to catch them all.
And the enthusiast in me would be like, now I gotta get all of them. That's 40 books at $40 a piece. I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, no. My bookshelf isn't even that large.
I'd be tempted to, though, personally.
It is tempting. It is tempting. The book itself, I imagine they probably enlarged it for the deluxe edition. But if you get the paperback version, It's just like this big. It's like super small. Like it's the manga size.
Yeah, it's there's still newsprint, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the deluxe one is since it's a hardcover, usually what they do with the hardcover ones that I have gotten in the past, they make them like normal size to our perspective. And then and those are, it looks nice. I seen the artwork for it. But this I was like,
well, that's orc sized in your hand right there.
Exactly.
Deluxe would be like regular human sized, right?
I feel like
everything's bigger with orcs, mate. Everything's bigger.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I could understand doing that.
Read.
Yeah, I could understand doing that if it was like maybe like 3 or 4 volumes, but there's a lot that story's big, man. There's a lot of books in that thing.
Did he finish it?
No, he didn't. That's the sad thing.
He's
been creating it since 1989. He was the artist and writer.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And
maybe he has something locked away somewhere. Maybe. Hopefully.
I don't think so.
To our knowledge, no, I don't believe so. And he passed away before this week. Like it's just that the publicist at Dark Horse decided to announce it. He actually passed away May 6th.
Yeah, he passed away like almost 2.5 weeks ago. But Miura was that dude was amazing, man.
Yeah, if you haven't checked it out, like look at his artwork, even like his early stuff from back in '89 to now. The detail work is insane.
Yeah,
of what he's done on it,
and to do a book like that long, that consistently, is like damn.
Yeah, and then a lot of people in the articles I was reading, like they credit a lot of dark fantasy video games, and storylines to Berserk, like Dark Souls.
Was it Final Fantasy? The
Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, Final Fantasy games.
Mm-hmm. And then there were several others.
Yeah, in fact, was it the Final Fantasy online game? They had a big tribute to him in it.
Yeah, I did see that. They did do that. So it's just crazy. Now, granted, anime wise, it hit me. Like the first anime series that they did of it was good, and then the other ones I don't like. But yeah, it's definitely one of those series if they ever really truly adapted to the source. I compared it last night to if you combined Lord of the Rings with The Witcher and then made it darker.
Yeah, and then add some Lovecraft to it. Yeah.
Yeah. And add Lovecraft because it definitely has Lovecraft themes going into it.
Yeah, there's some dark stuff in that series, man. I mean, but it's one of the best mangas ever created, hands down.
Yeah, and that's considering like I have almost all the Akira ones, and that's a large series too. And
I only have the Epic reprints. That Epic did in the 90s.
Those were actually pretty good though.
No, they did a good job with the Epic reprints, and I think those are the ones I have. I have them almost all of them, but that's a whole full size comic book box, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
just to have all those.
Yeah, because there's a lot more backstory for like if you ever watch the movie, some of the characters that you only see for like a couple of scenes, they have like a whole story in that series. So
yeah, like the anime movie that they adapted is really like a third, if anything, of the entire story.
Yeah,
maybe
because I have that the one girl. It's in it that Kaneda is like trying to get with and everything. She has a whole story arc in there. The commander, that's chasing them. He has a whole story. Like there's a whole enough, and then the people that are like you see the people that are revolt that are protesting in the streets and stuff like that. There's a whole story around them as well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's really cool.
And a whole bit about Akira. Spoilers if you haven't seen the movie.
Oh, spoilers for a 30-year-old movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, don't laugh, man. I have actually had people be like, I've never watched that before. And I'm like, well, that's your damn fault.
Yeah, well, Jesus Christ, forgot. It's older than most of your customers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, there are still people that haven't seen it. Like, I'm just saying, like, Akira is based on a character that you don't even see until the end of the movie.
Yep.
And then the comic is like the other half of the comic shows the character. So you actually get a development there. So it's just one of those funny things.
But yeah.
But I don't want to steal Mike's thunder with all this anime and manga stuff because I know that's not his wheelhouse.
Oh, I'm on top of that wheelhouse. What are you talking about?
But
Actually-
rest in peace, Kentaro Miura.
Actually, Akira was the first anime. Well, not counting Voltron or Battle of the Planets or anything like that.
Astro
Watching
Boy.
it as a kid, but Akira was the first and last anime movie I saw, because I was like, that's it. I don't need to see anything else. It was perfect.
There's some good anime movies out there, mate.
True, but if there had to been one that was like your last, Akira's not a bad one to call it.
Yeah, because that movie, most of that movie even holds up even today.
Exactly. And matter of fact, it holds still to this day, like some world records about like the production on it. Like it uses the most art cells per second than any other ones that they ever done. And it doesn't use any CGI because they were using computer graphics in movies at that time. And they refused to use any CGI. They're like, we're hand drawing everything.
Yeah.
And it looks like there's CGI in it because of the quality.
Yeah. Like that scene with the helicopters, when the helicopters are lifting off, it looks like it's animation, like they did it, like
even
the
the opening scene with the motorcycles, that alone.
Yeah. But if you ever watch Lilo and Stitch, there's a scene where the scene with the spaceships and everything where they're turning in and all that stuff. People think that that's actually computer generated. It's not. It's actually hand drawn.
Oh, okay.
But it was like I said, they were doing that back in 1980. What was that? 1988 when that movie came out?
No, I want to say it was like closer to 84, right?
Was it? I'll have to look it up, but it was a long time ago.
What's that?
Akira.
Oh, 88, I think. I think it was 88.
Yeah, let me double check. Yep, 88.
Oh, yeah, I was just calling.
But still, yeah, if you haven't seen it, go. What the hell are you waiting for? Go see it.
Absolutely. I encourage it.
Mike, you were saying.
I think I've actually got the Kira twice on DVD. I've got standard release, and I've got 2 disc special edition one as well.
Yeah,
So
I got
a couple.
Yeah, I got the 4K. So
yeah. Oh, by the way, Adan, sorry, changing this ever so quickly. Adan, I've got to take your skull. Sorry, mate. Yes. She didn't bring pizza for everybody, and Rosa wants your skull as payment.
I mean, it's a sacrifice I have to bear for some good pizza.
What are you drinking, man? Killian's?
Yes, I am.
Nice. Which one?
Irish Red.
Cool.
George Killian's Irish Red.
The proper
I
Killian's.
I was drinking before that the Nitro cold brewed coffee.
Yikes.
I am not a fan.
I can see that from your face right now.
I finished it. I finished it like a champ because I don't like to waste, but the other ones are going to stay stored for company.
Till somebody else comes in.
Exactly. What you got? I got this delicious cold brew coffee. Guinness.
Oh, shit. I've just realized that. Thank you. I hadn't even noticed. God almighty. Chris, Mr. Producer, we need you to do a fix.
That thing we spent all that time on.
I'm the only one that's right.
I did a minute ago. I didn't know I was going to do that. What the hell name did you? What does my name say? Aiden NerdTots. You got the wrong names on the cameras, dude.
That's what we've just been talking about.
Because Bobby decided to dip out and then he came back in and you switched up the entire Zoom. That happens when I'm doing my game night. And one of my guys always, I'm just telling him just don't log out. Just
I didn't think you guys wanted to see me pick my nose, so
just drag and drop.
Yeah, drag and drop.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we're getting ourselves situated. So
that's a good Chris's.
So because of the whole thing that happened this week is did you see a spike in your sales, Mike? For people coming in wanting manga of some kind, or
nope. Manga really doesn't sell here.
But you don't really stock it, do you?
I have some, yeah. I have the the popular ones, and also Chainsaw Man, which a customer told me about, and I'm like, that sounds really batshit crazy. I got to get that. So
I heard about that one.
Yeah, I'll keep one or two in stock. But yeah, no. I mean, I have what is it? My Hero Academia, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, just like the properties, the main properties.
Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, I'll order if I can get it. I'll order anything for anybody. I mean, I'd even order a Gambit book for them and and Gambit. Yeah, I know. Wow. See, that's how much of a horror. I'll order anything, dude. But
you'd slap an 85% carriage charge on it, though.
Yeah, right. Just pain and suffering having to order it. Yeah. But yeah, no. We're mainly mainstream comics. That's why it's like I don't understand when they come up with all these narratives that manga's outselling comics. Not here. I mean, I sell comics.
I mean, I think what they're talking about is worldwide.
No, there was a thing the other day, the top 20 sales in the US.
Oh yeah, no, like
all 20 books were manga.
Yeah, it's selling really crazy well in the US, but I'm also saying like their sales are just crazy worldwide.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's like I'm sure it's like specific titles like where the anime itself is like super popular, like Demon Slayer or Attack on Titan.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming Demon Slayer would have jumped up as well because you just had the movie release as well, haven't you? So in the last month or so,
the movie finally released to the US, and they picked up prior to that on Netflix. So a lot of people were picking that up and getting into it. And then Attack on Titan recently released their I want to say it was their last season. So people were getting up and roar about that and wanting to check that out. So I am not surprised if those would be some of the titles that would have been in those like top sellers. If it's not, then I have no idea what they were looking for.
Yeah, and actually, nobody mentioned. Nobody mentioned. I was going to say Berserk. It wasn't Berserk. It was what the hell's the name of the book that the dude just died?
That was Berserk.
Oh, it was Berserk. Why was that? Oh, because I'm thinking Berserker, which came out this week in like fourth and fifth printings or whatever.
The Keanu Reeves one.
Yes, but nobody even asked
at the comic book shop. No, like I asked for Berserk, and the guy was like, "We have it right down on the shelf." I'm like, and I don't mean Berserker.
No, Berserk.
Keanu Reeves. I meant Berserk. It's like it's older than you would have been alive.
Wow, I would not have expected that actually. Most of them are like current current stuff like My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen,
that's a fantastic show.
Demon Slayer, but another one, The Promised Neverland, that's been out for a long time, hasn't it?
Yes, but they released it on Netflix not too long ago, season 1, and they just did season 2 like in Japan, and I think they're easing it over to the States. Okay, so it's still fresh in a lot of people's mind.
Yeah, the Attack on Titan, Death Note, like I guess they released a new version of Death Note.
Oh,
Death Note Black Edition, Volume 1.
Okay. I never read any of the Death Notes. The concept, I saw the anime, which I loved, but I stopped after, I think it was L or Light. Mm-hmm. Yeah, after that arc. After that, I was like, I'm no longer in this.
Yeah, there's a lot of repeats in here too, like different volumes of My Hero Academia. Tokyo Ghoul is still really popular, I guess. Mm-hmm. Volume 1 of that still sells like crazy. Uzumaki HC, I've never heard of that.
Uzumaki.
Which one's that?
Uzumaki it's the hardcover.
That one sounds oddly familiar, just by the name alone.
It looks like some kind of a horror thing from the cover that I'm looking at here, but
okay, I was trying to find a list. It says it's an NP because there was the initial list that came out. It said it was NPD book scan top 20 adult graphic novels for April 2021, and it was all like Viz Media stuff. Everything except for one book was Viz Media, and then somebody and I can't find the thread. I just found the image, the original image, but somebody posted that didn't account for mainstream sales or something. Like it was like they filtered it just for manga, and then they put this up there as propaganda.
I know what. This
because once they added the American stuff, there was like a Batman thing in there. There was like a Walking Dead or Invincible in there. Like there were American titles in the top 20 or 25 or whatever it was. But,
well, there's always. I think there's always going to be some in there because Batman. I mean, Batman's always going to be popular.
Yeah,
always going to be popular. And with how popular the animated series for Invincible is, you knew that people were going to be in there going in there buying trades, and they're going to be buying back issues and stuff like that. And good on them because that series is fantastic.
You want to hear something else? When that book was out, when he was still publishing it, when didn't sell here. They did one issue. Yeah. I think it was 125. It was like a quarter issue. I sold like two.
Wow.
This was
so funny. With the people in your area, man.
Invincible has gotten awards and like has done all this, but like I'm not surprised. I've known other comic book stores where they're like, yeah, we don't sell that. It's like, it hasn't sold much here. It's just
you're certain
areas.
The taste of your customers is suspect, man. Seriously, that's Invincible is one of the greatest superhero comic books made in the last 30 years. It's amazing,
but the people don't want to go for it. I will say this though, like. Mike, have you ever noticed, like, since we're talking about like things that would cause maybe spikes, like when DC does an animated movie, like on a particular storyline, has that ever like caused a spike for like those graphic novels or whatnot?
Yeah, sometimes not a huge one, and like even with movies, period. Like I have noticed though with the Disney Plus, and this isn't like I'm not trying to be a Marvel fanboy or anything like that, but the attention. It's been greater because of stuff like that, like in Wanda and Vision and West Coast Avengers and stuff like that, because of that. And also, Winter Soldier and whatnot.
I honestly think that the TV shows are doing a better job of doing that than the movies.
Yeah.
Well, it does they do build up the attention for whether you love it or hate the show. It is getting the attention.
And it's over a longer period too.
I was going to say that it's because it's not just one shot and done.
I think that, but
advertisement for 2 months. So,
but it has to be. Well, they have to make sure that they don't drop it all at once. They don't binge it because that's the problem. And I don't understand why they'll never understand this. Because when you try appealing to these people, you should use mathematics because that's all they care about is money. If you go with your feelings, then that can be dismissed because that's just the way you feel because you're nostalgic or whatever. But when you're talking money and you point out that you'll have like 9 weeks of promotion, 9 weeks of discussion, 9 weeks in the public eye on Twitter, whatever else, then I don't know any rational thinking executive that would refuse that other than perhaps somebody that works for DC or something, Yeah. Because
it's the old water cooler conversation, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. Get together on Monday morning and you just talk about it. And if you
watch Jupiter's Legacy, that came out last week or the week before.
2 weeks ago, I think that was.
And already nobody's talking about it.
Exactly.
And to be honest, it wasn't all that great.
I do not disagree with that.
Yeah, it was. There was some interest. There was some cool stuff in it. There was some interesting stuff in it, but overall, that show was not great.
Yes.
So I don't think
it took me about 7 or 8 times to finish watching it because I kept falling asleep.
That is.
Yeah, and that,
7 or 8 different times. I kept falling asleep on different times, not like once I was like, oh my god, and I kept falling. No, it's literal 7 or 8 separate occasions that show put me to sleep.
Yeah, and there's two things you don't ever want your superhero show or movie to be called, and that's long and boring.
I mean, it was literally on par with the first chapter and a half of the Snyder Cut. Like it felt like it was never ending. It just kept going and going, and then they kept doing. They were doing the flashback. They were doing the flashback trope like Lost did, and they didn't do it anywhere near as well as Lost did, or even Arrow for that matter, because it just made no sense whatsoever.
It was very haphazard.
Yeah.
But
Mark Millar, he's going to be doing more too. He's going to be doing Super Crooks. I can't wait for that.
So what is selling really well in your store?
Nightwing, Berserker, Red Room.
That's on my pull list. I haven't read it yet.
I haven't seen Red Room.
It is crazy.
It looks dope, man.
Yeah, I see a lot of Red Sonja at my store.
It looks bad.
Really?
Oh god,
Red Sonja?
For the last couple months, they've had like a whole shelf just like Red Sonja.
Is this because Amanda? Is this because
Yeah.
Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti go there or something? Is that the reason? 'Cause I know they're in Florida, so
No, what
There's gotta be a reason.
I don't know. Like, it's like I've had a couple of Red Sonja books because like there was like Red Sonja with Vampirella, Red Sonja and like,
yeah.
Valkyrie, Red Sonja the superpowers, and Red Sonja da 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 da. And it's just like they're just putting a lot of Red Sonja out, and they're like with Dynamite Comics, and I'm like, I feel like one of the
Well, in fairness, they have just announced the movie as well.
What's the name of that guy that's doing those special painted covers on there? Because he's super popular.
For Red Sonja.
Yeah. Well, he's doing them for Red Sonja. He's doing them for.
Are you telling me I should get the Red Sonja books now?
He's doing them.
Well, you got an empty bit of shelf wall space there.
Actually, there is a book. There is a book that Amanda Conner and Jimmy are writing, and the art in there and the story isn't bad. But the other ones like are just I mean, they're doing like a Sonja verse now or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. When I see all those covers and whatnot, I feel like that's what's happening. There's like a Red Sonja verse now.
Oh well, Dynamite minimum do like 20 covers for each issue that they put out.
Oh
Minimum,
yeah, dude.
everything.
Yeah,
it gets to be ridiculous, and they seem to get me almost every time too. When there's like a Joseph Michael Linsner cover or Lucio Perillo, like I got to stop. Like even Betty Page and whatever else, and I'm like, I know the interior is going to be crap. I know the story is going to suck. I know it's not going to be good art.
But it looks so
covers,
pretty,
man.
well,
I know
looks
the
so
covers,
pretty,
and I could just download the JPEG and print it or something. Like,
but it's just not the same though. No matter what you do, it's just not the same.
But let's be honest, like us retailers, we're gonna go in and we shop by the cover.
It is, and that's the thing too. That's one of the things, like a common thing that's been going on for the last 10, 12 years or so, is doing
longer
those.
than that.
Well, I'm just especially in the last 10, 12 years, is doing like I said, doing like those 20 different covers. You've got these amazing artists doing this unbelievable artwork on the outside, and then you look at the inside and it's
garbage.
It's either very, very it's jarringly different, or it's just not nowhere near on par, and you're just like, what the hell, man? I didn't buy this.
well, they use that as a selling device, because they get idiots like me to order extra copies of the regular book to get those variants.
See, that's the thing. And now how many, like, if like say like Marvel's putting out a book and it's got like 10 different special covers, and let's say,
oh, you mean like Black Panther next Wednesday? Yeah, something like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that they do that almost every book now, but like some books, like that's the weird thing. One month a book will have like 2 special covers, and next one will have 10.
Yeah. Well,
and it's like
next week's Black Panther, I think, besides being number 25, if I remember correctly, it's also the final issue that Ta-Nehisi Coates is writing. So I think they're going to end it there and then reboot it again with a number one. But those are at least $5.99 each. There's going to be a Venom 200, which has also been delayed again. I don't know to exactly when, because apparently the printer ran out of paper. But it's going to be like a 96-page book. It's $10, and they did like 15 covers. It's like, and that's not counting like the store covers, the retailer covers or anything like that. This is just Marvel, within Marvel alone. And I ordered like 10 of each of them. God damn it.
I don't do the special cover thing. I'll pick one cover.
But
that's the one I want.
But you have to see some of those. Those are, oh my God.
I'm sure they're amazing. It's just that I'm not going to.
There's an Art Adams cover, J. Scott Campbell cover. I mean, they got them. They know what they're doing, and they do it.
And art, man, dude, that guy is doing at least a dozen covers a month.
Oh, Art Adams? Oh, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he's never going to do that second long shot miniseries he promised a long time ago.
Dude, I want that. I'm one of the people that was like for like probably like all up till about maybe 10 years ago. I was like, are you ever going to go back to do that? Finish that up, man? Because I would really like that.
So basically, that's like the comic book version of Game of Thrones.
Oh,
pretty much, man.
Where everybody was like waiting for the final book.
Except long shot is good.
It's a fair point.
But yeah, I know I know Dave Finch is doing tons of covers like constantly, and he said J. Scott Campbell and those guys like
J. Scott Campbell, he does his own variant covers.
Yeah, he does variant covers of his variants.
Yeah.
Did you see the art thing he was doing online where he was like telling everybody like, let me see you do my cover in your style?
Dude, the audacity, the pretentiousness, the idiocy of somebody saying this is how J. Scott Campbell should draw his covers. Like, you just want to reach through the Tumblr and punch that jackass. Like, are you kidding me? Like, have you seen Rob Liefeld's art and you're telling J. Scott Campbell how to draw? Like, please.
But the way he clapped back at him was like, that's the best way.
That was perfect.
He redrew the redraw.
Yeah. Let me correct your, what was it? Because the guy redrew it and he got all the anatomy wrong. Yeah. Got all the anatomy wrong. I mean, if you look at his redraw, her fucking forearm looked like a football player's fucking thigh. Do you know what I mean? You look like Popeye.
That guy's
Popeye's
awesome,
arm there.
That guy's awesome. But you know what? He has the right attitude about that whole thing. It's like, don't lose your shit. Just be like, yeah, okay, well, here's how I do it.
Yeah. And here's how I got paid for doing it.
That's the other thing. Is like, I got paid.
Mm-hmm.
I got paid a lot.
Yeah, and then you had all those people fucking recreating the pose as well and going, well, no, actually, it is humanly possible to do it.
Oh, look. They tried that shit with.
I don't care.
They tried that with.
No, I mean they were defending him, defending his cover, defending his drawing.
No, they tried saying, because in Spider-Man #1, Milo Manara, who is a famous and awesome Italian erotic artist, he did the variant cover for, it was the 1 in 75 cover for Spider-Woman #1, and he had her in a pose like as if she was coming up over the side of the building, and her ass was in the air. So it was like her body was down here and her ass was over there. And everybody just got outraged. Oh, think of the kids and the children.
That was a hell of an ass, man. Let me tell you.
First of all, children. It was a 1 in 75. Chances are, if you went into a store, you're not going to be paying cover price for that, because the retailers had to order 75 copies of a book that isn't going to sell that one copy. Second of all, they were like, a human being can't do that. And then there were so many, thank God for Milo Manara. There's so many cosplayers, female cosplayers out there.
Oh, yes.
That just did it. And it was glorious. It was glorious.
I'm not going to lie. I would have bought it.
Dude, I was looking all over for it and I couldn't find it.
Oh yeah, I saw
them doing that made that thing sell like you wouldn't believe, man.
Mm-hmm.
But Lucio Perillo is the guy that's doing those.
Lucio
Perillo and
Red Sonja.
Red Sonja covers.
Okay.
I think he does Vampirella. He does. There's one called Secret Six. He also did
Purgatory. Yep.
This here, Dynamite. Which apparently, I think this has Red Sonja and Vampirella together. It's like all of the Dynamite people.
Isn't Christopher Priest writing that?
Fred Van Lente.
Okay, I know he's doing a Vampirella.
I think he's doing Vampirella.
Yeah, he's doing Vampirella right now. I love that guy.
Up until like the last month where I saw like the Red Sonja and Vampirella stuff, I thought Vampirella wasn't making any new books, and then all of a sudden like resurgence.
That first issue that Christopher Priest, when he took over that book, that thing sold better than like 90% of the independent comics out there.
See, and I mean that's why I was like surprised. I'm like, I thought it was gone, and then it came back. I'm like, oh geez.
Like I think if I'm not mistaken, it almost broke 100,000.
Evil Ernie's actually in here too.
Dude, Ernie? God damn it! That's a freaking series I want them to redo. Oh my God!
Well, they keep Polito keeps doing Lady Death. I don't know. I guess Dynamite is the one that owns the rights to.
He finally managed to get the rights back to Lady Death, but he said there's no way they'll let him have Evil Ernie.
Maybe he should work with Dynamite, the dude at Dynamite, and say, "Look, let's do."
I guess he said he tried to, and it was just like they didn't want to let him do what he wanted to do, because if he doesn't, it's going to be balls to the wall.
Yeah,
because that's the only way he knows how to do anything.
I think I have a couple Evil Ernie books. I have to double check.
Dude, I have
a series.
The entire run of that book. I love that. Even when it started getting really kind of cheesy and lame.
Well, I think that was probably after Stephen Hughes died, unfortunately.
Yeah,
because he died of like a leukemia or cancer or something like that. He was he was the definitive artist on that book, because.
Well, he did the covers. I don't think he.
No, he did. No, he did the interiors too.
For Lady Death, not for Evil Ernie, right?
No, for Oh yeah, for Lady Death. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. For Evil Ernie, it was what the hell's that guy's name? Anyway, I can't remember off the top of my head, but
I don't have the hard copies. I have the
that's
digital
a
copies.
yeah,
of
like
Evil Ernie.
that's a book that Evil Ernie, to do it the right way, is you wouldn't be able to do that at a regular comic book studio. Man.
Well,
You'd have
I don't
to,
think
that
today.
has to be- yeah, there's no way. There's
Yeah.
no freaking way, man.
Yeah.
The amount
I mean,
of
that'd be
violence
like,
that's in that book.
That'd be like Marvel. It was their version of Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine called Crazy.
It was awful.
And I remember there was this story, I think it came out in 81 or 82. It was called Casper the Dead Baby. And it showed like the origin of how Casper became Casper or whatever. And I mean, it was like,
Wow.
Marvel, like I just saw a video where somebody was talking about YouTube and how YouTube, like if you do something questionable or like something back in the day, like, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, when their standards were a little strict, like looser, you can still get stricken for those videos, even though if you delete them and all that, as long as they exist, you're still held to that stand. Yes, you're still held to that standard. So like I'm surprised nobody said anything about this. I mean, I love the story. The story was his parents, they I guess his wife, his husband, his dad was beating his mom or something as they were driving, and they drove over a cliff, and like you saw him in the car on the bottom, and like oh God, what the hell happened? I think no, never mind. I'm sorry, I'm messing up. What happened was the dad killed the mom and the kid, and then the kid came back and saw his dad with like his new girlfriend or whatever. And Wendy, who was kind of a little slutty there, she used her magic to have the car go off the cliff. And when the car went off the cliff, the girlfriend was burned alive, and the dad was like on the ground or whatever. And so Wendy conjured up some knives or whatever and dropped them all on him and killed him. And then her and Casper floated off at the end. And
jeez,
happy story, happy ending.
I love that kind of underground
It's
stuff like
cheery.
that, though, man.
Happy
This was
families,
Marvel.
everybody.
This
I know, but that style is very underground,
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Casper.
No,
could
but
be
I'm saying,
considered
yeah, I
still
mean-
a friendly ghost because he didn't do the act. It was Wendy.
Yeah. I mean, he came, if I remember correctly, he came through the dashboard and scared him, and that's when Wendy turned the wheel so it went off the road. But yeah, his hands were clean. His hands were clean. It was all Wendy.
No, he just wanted to say hi. He didn't realize
Exactly.
he didn't realize
He
he
didn't know Wendy was
scared.
going to snap like that.
It was that
He's
bitch
like-
Carol
he's like-
Baskins.
He goes, "Dad, it's me."
Yeah.
Mr. Daddy, give us a hug. What? Where you gone? What? Oh, you stupid bastard. Why'd you drive over that cliff?
And it was
Oh
somebody,
my
I think it
God.
was somebody popular that wrote it too. And there was no controversy back then. Probably because nobody like cared about comics like the way they do now.
You could never do something like that today.
But today, dude, before the issue got off the press for the initial run, it would be all over the internet. Like it would be on
yeah.
Twitter and.
But the
everything.
funny thing is, that will be the type of book I will get. I like
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like
I
it's
got
he was talking
Predator
about.
versus Archie.
Yeah,
Which
Predator
one?
versus Archie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
it's like
that's-
so stupid. But you see like the characters in the where's their town?
Riverdale.
Riverdale. Thank you. It's a whole show. Yes, I should remember that.
I hate that show.
Yeah.
But basically, Predator stalking the residents of Riverdale.
Yeah.
That dude. That's that. Part of the reason I hate
You
that
might have
show
to
is
lower the
that-
brightness a little.
Part of the reason why I hate that show so much is it was originally supposed to be Afterlife with Archie, and that series was so freaking good, man. I was so hoping that, and I was hoping that they were going to complete that series as well because of it, and then they went with all the other crap, and I was like, son of a bitch.
He says, "Don't cry, folks. I'm back. Returns from the grave." It's if you look, it's on the internet.
Yeah, I'll have to look.
There.
I'll definitely have to look it up. But yeah, dude, dude, I would love to see a friggin' Evil Nerd, like a proper Evil Nerd series come back. But like you said, they'd never be able to do it.
Dynamite they actually did a one shot which told the origin of Smiley.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's genius.
Well, there was a no, it wasn't his origin. It was they did do a mini series back when Chaos was a
For
thing,
Smiley?
where he got separated from Evil.
From an Evil Ernie. Yeah,
And,
I remember that.
It was about
a
him
short
finding
series.
his way back. Yeah.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yep.
Marv Wolfman wrote it.
Yeah.
Casper the Dead Baby. And
Dude, that doesn't surprise me.
Marie Severin did the art.
Yeah.
So
that
it
doesn't
was
surprise me at all, man. That
a
sounds like
male
something he
and a
would do.
female.
Yeah. That sounds like something he would do. That sounds like something Marv would do, man, just to piss somebody off.
And I'm actually looking, I've called up some of the images for this now. Yeah. There's this Casper in Die My Baby Die.
Yes.
What?
That's fantastic, man.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I miss days like that when you could just do shit.
The days of like where comics were like stuff you would never see out there.
Yes,
And,
when it wasn't so pedestrian.
I mean, when they were
That's-
fantasy.
that is actually a very good term for it. When it wasn't pedestrian. That is actually very true.
That's just like was it Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock both this week came out and I mean not Dave Chappelle. Yeah, well Dave's been doing it forever, but Chris Rock and oh God, what's his name? Donald Glover.
Yeah, Glover.
Donald Glover came out and said that comedy is just dead now because like everybody's afraid to do anything.
Yeah, because somebody they'll offend. God forbid they offend somebody.
Yeah, he's like you can't be creative. Everything is so dull and lame.
Yeah,
it's like you can't create anything anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
But in
Well,
comics,
not been funny. If we were popular, somebody would be complaining and trying to get us taken off air because of Casper the Dead Baby right now.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, that's true. Like just even bringing up those kind of conversations can actually be that way, and it's sad. It is so sad.
Yeah,
because there's so many like, even though they are dark stories or like stories touch on like twisted aspects, like they bring up excellent conversations and they have fantastic point of views at the same time. Even though if the story is garbage, like because sometimes they try to go balls to the wall and
it doesn't always work.
Miss.
Yeah, sometimes you miss, and it's just like what happened to Dangerous Fun? Just a little bit of dangerous fun. It's just stick in your skin and don't be such an asshole. It's what it
you don't like
to.
it, don't read it, don't watch it, don't buy it. Fuck off and let people who actually enjoy that shit enjoy it.
And at the same time though, like we were talking about, a lot of people have sworn off mainstream comics. There's still some good stuff out there, man.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to wade through a mountain of crap because all the mainstream companies have gone to this flood the shelves marketing scheme. But there's still good stuff out there, man. Like I always talk about Daredevil. Daredevil has been fantastic.
Yeah,
for the last 2 years, man. Since Chip Zdarsky took over, that's one of the best comic books being put out there right down today.
Yeah, No 30 just came out this week.
So
it's in my pull list, man. I'm waiting.
That's another thing. I need to put that on my list of things to watch for because, like I haven't read Daredevil in. God, like maybe this current run with Chip Zdarsky, you need to I think you could get the trades for it right now.
There's a trade, yeah.
You need to pick those up, man, because it's not just Matt Murdock. I mean, his story. This is a deconstruction story done right. Like where you bring the character down, but at the same time he stays who he is. He stays who he is to his core. And then by the end of it, you bring him back up. You start to bring him back up. You don't leave him broken. But at the same time, the side characters are awesome in this friggin' book. Like the Kingpin, you see the Kingpin in a way you've never seen him before in these books, because he's the mayor of New York and he's legitimately trying to go straight. He's legitimately trying to be a good mayor, but he's the Kingpin. He can't change who he is. So
old habits, man.
Yeah, and it's just like that's the idea behind the whole story, is that at their core, no matter what happens, these people are going to be who they are. Matt Murdock is going to be Daredevil no matter what, because it's who he is at his core. Wilson Fisk is going to be the Kingpin because that's who he is at his core. And then you have these cool stories with all these side characters. And like right now, Elektra is in a place where she's never been before. She's actually, I don't want to give it away for you because you're going to read it. But it's just he's taking some chances with these characters, but he's keeping them where he's keeping their heroic element to them or their villainous element to them. And that's
he's not really doing something that's too what's the word, out of place, or
it's not too far afield of who they are.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's putting them in a in really interesting and dramatic situations. Like was it issue 29? The end of that issue, you're like, holy shit! You're like there's something that happens. You're like, this could be the end of the friggin' story. But he's just doing such a good job with it, man. That book is amazing. I love it.
Oh yeah.
So
but,
I just looked up the last issue I bought of Daredevil was the 2018 issue 605, volume 5 of Daredevil. So I'm like way behind.
Yeah,
you are.
Oh yeah, it's a great book, man. Another book that I've been picking up is when we were talking about our pull list is Strange Academy. I've been picking that book up. First off, the art's great.
Dude, I mean, Ramos is actually drawing again.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's two different Humberto Ramoses.
Yes.
There's the Humberto Ramos that's working on a project that he legitimately has the time to do what he wants to do with it.
Yes.
Here you go. This is issue 10. But they covered by Arthur Adams, by the way.
Up a little bit.
That's
up a little bit more. Up a little bit more.
Marvel.
Pull it out. Up more.
Like so, it's in frame for the camera. Is it by Marvel?
It is by Marvel.
Yeah, it's Marvel. Doctor Strange. It's the school of Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's basically what if Hogwarts existed in the Marvel universe. Doctor Strange. There's all these because of the nature of magic. There was a big storyline where magic got all messed up, and afterward, basically, it spread out further and more wild than it's ever been before. So a lot more magic users were popping up on Earth, popping up in other realms, because there's two characters in here from Asgard. And so he goes to get all the magic characters from Marvel's past, and they create a school for them. But it's still done with a very Marvel style because, like I said, one of the magic users is a friggin' frost giant from Jotunheim. So
Makes
it's
sense.
like, yeah, but it's done in that really cool. Like Humberto Reyes, actually, she said he has two styles. Like I said, he has the style where he can actually take the time to do what he wants on it, and then he has the style that he was doing like on Spider-Man, where it's very fast. Yeah, it's very fast. It's very slapdash.
This is one. I do not understand why Marvel allowed this book to be published. Like, I don't know what made them look at this and say, you know what, this looks good. Let's print it. Like, this is some of his worst art that I've ever seen.
That's also when he was doing 2 books a week.
Yeah. See, he's reliable as far as like if you need something like on a weekly basis. Yeah. But like Mark Bagley. But the art, his art on Strange Academy it's back to what it used to be when he was drawing like Impulse back in the 90s.
Yeah. I compare the art to this to what he did when he was doing Out There.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because it still has a little bit more of that cartoony edge to it.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more. It's a little more cartoony than when he was doing Crimson, but the detail and I'll tell you what, whoever they got to do the colors on this book, they fit his pencils really, really, really well.
Yeah,
but it's a cool book. It's got some interesting stories in it. I'm an art guy, so I'll pick up a bad book even if it's got amazing art in it. But this one's been like a very happy accident. So,
have you been getting all of the Art Adams, the character variants?
When I buy the cover, I get the Art Adams version. Because I'm an Arthur Adams guy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like that guy had me. Because the first book that I read from him was The Long Shot, and then the very next one after that was when he did Days of Future Present. Oh, dude, I actually have. Remember that compendium book that they came out with? In like 2000, it was like the history of Godzilla, and Art did all the artwork inside of it. Wow. It was the different monsters. It's freaking awesome, dude, man. I've never gotten to a convention where he's at. If I ever go to a convention where he's at, he's signing that book for me. It's so freaking cool. Like he has this. There's a fold out in it, and it's all the different monsters from all the years. And then on the back side of it, it's all the different versions of Godzilla, and they're all from him. And it's just like every version the guy is amazing, man. That guy, no one does textures like that guy.
He's incredible. Did you see that original Sin? That cover that he did.
Yes.
Like you connect the different pieces. It wasn't like all across like a panoramic thing, and it wasn't like top to bottom. It was like put a piece here and then you put a piece, like it was like a puzzle, a literal puzzle you had to put together. And then I mean, it was just incredible. It had like all the Marvel characters in there. The Watcher was on.
I think they said there was something like 400 different characters in that thing.
It was, yeah. He was almost George Brezian with that.
Yeah, those are two guys right there, man. When they go, I'm going to be very unhappy.
Yes.
Look them up, guys. George Perez and Arthur Adams. Yeah.
Don't even jinx that stuff.
Yeah, knock on wood, man. That guy's amazing. There's a reason why that guy is still doing work, like doing cover work for Marvel after 30. God, he's been in the business for more than 30 years now.
Yeah.
He's got to be in there for like almost 40.
Yeah.
But yeah, amazing stuff, man. I'll tell you what though, since I was showing those off, I'll show you some of the stuff that I'm getting on my pull list. Next one I got here is Noctera. Tony Daniels.
I saw that on the shelf today, and I was like, I was tempted, but I didn't get it because I was like, I don't know her.
It's dude. The only thing you need to know is that it's Scott Snyder and Tony Daniels.
Yes.
There you go.
Number one was good. I'm stuck on number one. I haven't read number 2 or 3 yet.
Yeah. Number one, the story was a little.
Well, you're setting the stuff up. You know, you gotta.
Yeah. It was a little slap. It was a little haphazard. Once they introduced the villain here, what's this guy's? I'm trying to remember this guy's name. I don't remember his name, but basically he's completely made out of shadow.
Is he called the Shadow?
No, he's
no, because that's already taken by copyright.
I was gonna say they get sued. Yeah.
I don't know. It like depends how long the time frame. Like there's
Blacktop Bill. That's his name.
Blacktop Bill.
Blacktop Bill. Yeah, but he's mutated. He's completely dark. Like the only thing you can see is like his teeth.
So he looks like an unlockable character in Mortal Kombat.
Kind of, but yeah, the story is like it's getting to the part where the story is actually starting to get good. But I'm trying to find a really good page here for you guys to take a look at here. Yeah, so but I don't know how well the pencils are going to come out in this, but Tony Daniels is awesome, dude. There's a reason why that guy's been on Batman for as long as he has. But and just look at that cover, man. I mean, my God.
So it does look cool.
And this book was the production of this book was actually crowdfunded, and they did a really good job of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there's actually like a special edition version of it that only the backers from the Kickstarter had. Really nice. But so I got picking up that Strange Things.
It's definitely better than his Justice League run, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think what happened there though is that he was starting to get burned out a little bit, and he wanted to do some more creative own stuff. So,
or maybe, I mean, could it be like he didn't necessarily like some people can't handle like a bunch of characters? You know, they do better when they focus on like one main character or something, even with the satellite of supporting characters. But here they were like all main characters, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm sure perhaps editorial wouldn't let him do like crazy stuff. Like, yeah, I want to cut off Wonder Woman's leg and, you know, give her a peg or something like that. Like, you know.
Oh yeah.
You're like, yeah, do that. Go ahead. Sure.
And I think that's why they give him like some of those side books and stuff like that. But now next up I had Die issue. Is this issue 16 of Die? If you how's that sell out there for you, man?
It sold at first and then it just, no pun intended, died.
I think after the first story arc, I think a lot of people were just like, okay, I'm done with this because this is like a good place to stop.
Well, wasn't there like a lengthy break too? Not COVID related. I mean,
there was an issue with the artist. Well, it was not an issue.
That could always hurt. That can hurt a story in general, like when you have.
Oh, absolutely. Like well, that's I was talking about Jupiter's Legacy. There was literally a year between issue, I think 4 and 5. And
yeah, dude, look at Doomsday Clock.
Oh, right. Well,
that completely killed all the momentum of that book.
But see, here's the thing, though. I agree wholeheartedly, and I think that they should either have the entire limited series done before soliciting it, or at least half of it. But when you see Gary Frank's pencils,
oh god,
like you can't like any anger you might feel, it just washes away.
When I got it, all I did was I was like, when they started coming out again, I was like, well, let me just go reread those again, so I can just pick up on it. But yeah, like I started, like I said, I'll buy a bad book, and not that that's a bad book. I'll buy a bad book if it's got someone like his pencils in it, man.
Oh yeah,
that guy's hands down one of the 5 best artists working today.
And I love that every time he draws Superman, he draws him like Christopher Reeve.
Yes,
yeah, always.
He draws him like Christopher Reeve, and he draws Wonder Woman like what's her name?
Oh, Linda Carter.
Linda Carter. Yeah, there's a lot of Linda Carter in her, but still looks badass.
Yes.
You know, but yeah, Die. I don't know if anybody has ever read this book though. It's basically it's kind of like what would happen if Dungeons and Dragons met H.P. Lovecraft, and it's a little bit of Jumanji thrown in there because they get pulled into another world. But the art style is really cool. I like it. I dig it. I don't know how well it's going to come through on here again, but it's very cool, man. It's dark fantasy. It's dark fantasy / superhero.
It's so funny to me. Like the first thought that came to me when you showed that page, Pirates of Dark Water.
It's
I'm just saying, like that first page you pulled up, I'm like, that looks like Pirates of Dark Water.
There's so many different things that are going on in this book, man. It's like this world that they go to. It's all the fantasy tropes, but it's also like cyberpunk and like I said, Lovecraft. Like they literally find H.P. Lovecraft in this book because what happens is when like famous authors, people die in our world, again, no pun intended, but when they die in our world, like a version of them, but like the fan
is uploaded to the Matrix.
Well, kind of, yeah, but it's what the way we fans picture them, not really who they are, but the way we envision them,
like an avatar.
They like H.G. Wells was there as well, but in that world, he was almost like a god.
Yeah, you know? Time machine. Did he have his time machine?
He did. He had a variation of it. He had abilities from it too, though. Like I said, it was almost like it was because he was so revered and everything. When he went there, he became almost like a god.
So in that concept, Stan Lee will probably be there.
Yeah, Stan Lee would be there, but he would be like the ultimate hero. Like
I was going to say, he'd be the alpha there.
Yeah, he'd be like Superman there. You know?
And then you piss off Stan Lee, he turns into the Hulk.
But there's always something.
It's like, listen, True Believers, smash!
Yeah. Exactly. No, yeah. Like he would be like this Titanic figure that comes striding onto the field like 1,000 feet tall, and then smite them, my true believers, something like that. That'd be kind of like what he would be.
It'd be kicking cars around like Excelsior.
But there's always a dark element to it. Like one of the things that happens, one of the characters, when they go there, they change into like the version of them that's there. They change into the character that they're playing in the game. And one guy changes into, his character's named Ash, and the ability that Ash has is this thing called the word, where she says something and you have to do it, or it has to happen.
I've seen that ability in anime. It's an OP ability.
But the thing is when they first went there, they were just kids, so they were like screwing around and everything. And there was this knight, and Ash was flirting with this knight because Ash, his character there, was female, and this knight was like swearing, command me to swear my allegiance to you. And she says, okay, you will. She says, you'll never. He says, command me to never rest until I lay eyes on you again. So she does that with the voice, but when they leave, he's still there. So they come back, and it's like 40 years later, and you find it's like 10 years later, and you find out that he died 3 years later, but he could not rest because she put that on him. So his corpse has been walking around waiting for her to come back because he can't rest until he lays eyes on her again. Oh, so he's like, he comes in, he's like, I curse you, and he's just like all these maggots come spilling out all over her from his body because his body's been decaying. He's just goop. So yeah, it's got a really cool dark element to it.
And I have to confess, when you said Ash, you went special powers, I thought loses a hand and gets a boomstick.
Literally, that's
Well,
what I thought too.
Yeah.
But
There's a
Ash is,
guy-
Ash is in Dynamite verse right now, so he can't do
Yeah.
that.
There's actually a character, her at his sister. She's like this, like a cyberpunk elf version that uses. She can create technology stuff, and she uses this stuff called Fair Gold. But it's like an addictive drug. Like you have to have it. And when she went there, it took her arm. It replaced it. Like when she comes back to the human world, she has no arm. So it's like, yeah, it's really messed up. It's really cool, but great series. I love it. Let's see here, what else did I have this week? Another fantasy book. This is probably not something that sells well in your shop, man. This is just a Critical Role, Legends of Vox Machina.
One person, and it's
Yeah.
a file customer.
Oh, that's by Critical Role.
Yeah, it's basically the backstory for all the characters from the first campaign. But I'm a big D&D fan, so I love it.
My friend just got the Critical Role Munchkins edition.
Yeah,
And
dude,
that has so many betrayal tricks in its sleeve.
it's pretty cool, man. I mean, it's the artwork's it's not bad. You know, it's a little basic.
Yeah, no, they use some of the same artwork in the game, so it's a little bit basic, but it works. It works for what it is.
Yeah. It's a little cartoony. It's a little, but me being a big D&D fan, I pick it up because I love it. But and then this is something I picked up. This is actually, I think this has been out for about a month now or so. But I got the first issue for that Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures, which is the kids' book.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Harvey told
about, dude. That guy's
I love
amazing.
his art. I love his art, dude. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. Like, let me find that. There's a page in here. I was just like, holy crap, dude. It's amazing. It amazes me that this is the kids' book.
Yeah. Yeah.
The kids' book, and the kids' book has better art in it than the adult book.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, hell, man, if you're gonna have somebody come in, like look at this, like this page right here. Is like Harvey. I've been following Harvey for a long time. A buddy of mine named Apple Fuenta. He runs a convention in Texas. And he's actually in the middle. He's doing a project with Harvey. He's doing a book.
Oh, really?
And I'm really excited for that. It's going to be a crowdfunded book. I can't wait, dude. The first piece of work that I ever found of Harvey's was that Psylocke series that he did, which was, oh my god, man, that thing is gorgeous.
Yes.
Good lord, that book is amazing. That's the adult book. That's the one with the shitty art. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to say, because the artwork I've seen for that, it ain't look as good as what you just showed.
No, yeah, that's the thing that amazes me. But again, like if you're trying to get kids, you want to put the good art in there, man, because it looks amazing. But yeah, that's that. My pull list was pretty weak this week. The only other thing I picked up was Jimmy Raises Dragon Age. Which, by the way, if you go to Indiegogo, you can still pick this up. Dave Finch cover there, awesome. And then the Second Chance campaign is up right now. You can actually go there and get the first issue. He's working on the second issue now with a new Dave Finch cover. So if you're a fan of Dave Finch, go over and get there and get the rarest Dave Finch cover ever. But yeah, like I've got so much stuff on my coming in my pull list for when I go in there next week. I got was it something? Have you been reading Something's Killing the Children?
I've been getting it, but I haven't read it yet.
That's pretty good. What
Tinian.
else? Yep. James Tinian the fourth, awesome writer, dude. His when he took over Batman from King, I was so happy. A
lot of people were.
Dude, that story that he did was so good. The Last Ronin. And now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is Last Ronin on schedule still? Is it going to be? Is issue 3 supposed to be out?
Number 3 is on my invoice for Wednesday, but
okay.
I will not believe it until I open up the box and I see them in there. Actually, until I open it, take it out, open the book itself,
make sure it's been printed.
Actual turtles on the pages,
yeah,
and then I'll believe it.
Yeah, dude, because the series has been great, man, but those delays.
It should be done already. It should be. There's no reason this what is it? 5 issues, 6 issues, something like that.
Yeah, it's starting to turn into another Doomsday Clock.
And there's no reason for this either.
No.
They had the whole pandemic to do this.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's holding it up, man. But
They couldn't leave their houses to get pencils, so they couldn't draw anything.
yeah, that's the thing, man. It's the art in it is good, but it's not the kind of art where you're like, okay, I can understand why that took way longer.
Yeah.
Well, 2 was an improvement over 1.
Yes.
2 looked better.
But not to the extent that like
no, it's not.
Carried
It's
it.
not. Yeah, it's not to. It's not like friggin' Jim Lee level friggin' cross hatching and stuff that you've got to worry about.
Yeah. Well, they tried saying that it was they tried pulling the paper excuse, like you know, they weren't ready for the because it's not the size of a comic, it's bigger than that, and it's not the size of a magazine either. It's like somewhere in between, and whatever. You should have known this. Then make a regular size comic.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't blame other people when you doing a unique format.
I honestly think that the reason why it was held up is because of all the variant covers.
Probably.
There's something. Was there like
that's
20,
possible?
There's like 20 variant covers for this thing.
Yeah,
I know there's one by Freddie Williams.
I thought it was 25. I thought it was 25.
But
variants.
even if they're gonna do it like that, I would have been okay if they did like, okay, we're gonna do one set of variant covers this time, and then when we do the second print, we're gonna do another set of variant covers.
Well, no, Don, because I mean there was a 1 in 10 and a 1 in 25 for number 1. I don't know about number 2 because I literally the orders for number 2 weren't as big as orders for number 1 because I don't know, maybe they lost the enthusiasm about it because everybody's talking about it when number 1 came out, but then number 2 it was like crickets. Like there wasn't much like oh my god, I can't wait for it to come out. But when they do they have the regular covers, the ones that Marvel, DC, whoever, the company covers, but then they also have these retailer covers that we can commission to get done, and that's what Bob was talking about, because those additional 20 or whatever, those are all different stores or online places or whatever that are commissioning these special covers to be done.
Yeah.
And that's
so
that's always on the first issuing, not on the like second print or anything like that.
Well, I mean, you could do it. I mean, you according to at least Marvel, you can get any issue you want done. You just gotta pay. Because you have to, if you want a custom cover, you have to get at least 3,000 copies. You have to buy 3,000 copies of that book to have a special cover.
I know Mile High does that a lot.
Yes.
But yeah, like at least 4 or 5 of these are probably special variant covers specifically for particular stores. But still, and some of these artists I'm looking here are guys that take a long time, like Gabriel Delotto.
Yes,
that dude.
Well, he's doing like I think at least an average of maybe 20 covers a week or whatever. So yeah. And when you see the detail that he does too, and Tyler
Kirkham, he takes a while for his stuff.
Yeah, he has a deal with one retailer. I don't remember the name of the place, but he does it specifically for them.
Yeah, which that's what I'm thinking. His is probably for that. But like you said, I'll believe when I see it. But if it comes out, that's going to be dope, man. Dude, Spawn. I didn't realize that Carlo Barberi was doing the pencils for Spawn now.
The regular series?
Yeah,
I haven't looked in.
He's doing he's doing at least Spawn issue 318. So I'll be picking that up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, because Carlo.
What's his name?
Carlo Barberi, 317 too.
Yep.
I see it on the shelf over there.
Yeah. So I'll have to go look back through there. I didn't realize that he took over because I know what's that guy's name? Pangulian. He was actually doing it for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Which he's a pretty good artist too, but I'll pick it up from Carlo. Was it Detective Comics? Friggin' I mean, it's Clayton Crane. I mean, Clayton Henry. So I'll pick up that. I'll probably pick that up.
I had a conversation with a customer today about Clayton Crane because he was looking for some Carnage stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
because of the Venom tie-ins.
I said, that his Carnage stuff was good, but it was just like too damn dark. And he's like, well, Carnage is a serial killer. I'm like, no, I wasn't talking about it was too dark. Like he was murdering people, and it was like very like
the art was dark.
It was. Yes, you couldn't see what the hell he was doing. He was drawing scenes in New York City during the day, and you couldn't tell what characters were doing what because it was so I'm like, dude, turn the brightness up just a bit so we can see your art, you know? I mean, I can see other artists like who can't draw using that trick, but like Crane's pretty good. So
Yeah.
it didn't make any sense why he drew everything like they were in an eclipse. Or
I think he did it because they told him to. You
terrible.
know,
It's terrible.
But Bequested, that's another cool little fantasy sci-fi.
What is it?
The Bequest.
Oh, the Freddie Williams one.
Freddie Williams, man.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
Lord, dude, that art on that is so good.
Oh, yeah. That's the only reason I haven't read it yet, but I grabbed it for myself.
The story is actually pretty cool. It's interesting. Yeah. It's basically what would happen if like a person from a fantasy world found a doorway to the modern world and would start taking weapons through. So, but then Red Room, man. Red Room, I can't. Oh my God, Ed Pisker, man, that's gonna be awesome. But that's gonna be like something just completely crazy. I'll probably pick up Shang-Chi just because it's it's a number one. And
so wait, which version? Because I have the few issues that they had the last few months ago, and then I saw they had another number one that just came out. So I was like, you just did like 4 or 5 issues and they came out with
I'm gonna pick up
one.
the Shang-Chi versus the Marvel Universe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just got that.
Yeah.
The art inside it's incredible.
Oh,
incredible.
Yeah. Ruan is actually a pretty good artist, man. I really like him. I'll probably get I'm probably gonna end up getting the J. Scott Campbell cover.
For what?
But that Lionel Yu cover looks pretty awesome too. For Shang-Chi versus the Marvel Universe.
But has he got the human anatomy in the correct proportions for that?
Don't care.
There was also a super log cover that looked good too. I don't see it over there, but it was like it was almost like Middle Eastern. It had like I guess there were like legs or something. Like
it's kind of like really I'm actually looking at it right here. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
That one sold the most because I ordered the most of those. Yeah, I ordered a lot of those as opposed to
that. That's what Comic Book Bob's talking about right there. You know, so I got some of the variant editions also. So because I was like, oh, Shang-Chi versus the Marvel Universe. Okay, so I got this one, and then I got
Michael Cho.
That one.
Yeah,
Michael Cho. Yep.
Yeah, which is like simple, but I like it. I like the little Spider-Man in the background.
There you go.
That's the one you're talking about. Yeah,
that's the one. Yes,
this was badass.
Yes,
of a picture.
Yeah.
And
I wish the camera was coming in just a little lighter so they could see some of the detail on that. That figure is amazing.
Well, I could do this.
Oh, there you go.
And then does that help?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, we can tell you haven't cleaned up either.
It's almost like
there's a dog on the bed and everything.
Do you remember the guy that did?
Yeah, that was okay. Not bad.
Well, actually, no. This is just regular Shang-Chi number one. It was the variant I didn't get.
Oh,
never
nice.
mind. But still, it was fun. Wait, is this number? Wait, this is no, it is versus the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just doesn't say Marvel Universe on it.
Oh no, because I think initially they were going to call it Shang-Chi versus the Marvel Universe or whatever, but then they just called it Shang-Chi, and I think there's a subtitle. But it's not versus the Marvel.
Yeah.
But they put Mark versus the Marvel Universe on the cover.
So the Shang-Chi issues that I have that were like 1 through 4 or 1 through 5, all lead up to this because these are all the characters that they introduced in that series.
That was the previous, that was the previous mini series that ended.
It's all essentially his siblings.
I'm gonna copy and paste this into chat, Kev, so you can show this.
So that's the one. That's one of the variants I don't have. Oh no, that's number 4. Yeah,
it's number 4. This is the prior series.
Yeah. But that's the variant of number 4 I don't have.
That link right there. There's the J. Scott Campbell cover, man. I'm definitely picking that up.
Yeah, I'm just copying that now. Bear with me 1 second.
That is a nice cover.
I'm picking that one up. It was a toss-up between him and Lionel. I'm picking that one up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Lionel Yu's awesome, man, but I've got tons of his art.
Yeah, I didn't see that cover at my store. I'm like, I would have gotten that one. I like that one.
That's dope.
And the funny thing was, like, I got those covers, and I was like thinking I should give those to my brother because he's a huge Shang-Chi fan.
Right. I'm wondering if I share the screen right now, is it going to screw up the names again? Oh, too late. I already done it.
Never mind then. I'll
I already done it. Sorry.
That's okay.
By the way, I just had a quick look, by the way, guys. I looked on the next Last Ronin coming out. It's got 13 different artists for variant covers listed and 2 cover artists as well.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so not as many as the first, but still pretty good amount. But yeah, see, stuff like this I would have given to my brother, but like the more I was holding on to the variants, I'm like, man, I might just get this for myself.
I would.
Yeah. Have the Walking Dead those deluxe editions been selling well?
Yes, surprisingly.
Yeah. I've been hanging out with over on Dave Finch's channel, and he's been doing the covers for that.
Yeah. Him, Tony Moore, which is surprising, Tony Moore, I mean, because of the history. But unless they resolve things. But
well, they would have to, considering that he's doing those.
I guess either that or, you know, maybe Kirkman's paying him double or something to make up for it or whatever, you know. I mean,
that's probably a good idea.
That was the thing. That was the thing that pissed me off about Kirkman, because back in the day, he jacked up the price, because in between Walking Dead season 1 and 2, after it became a phenomenon, Image allowed us to consign books. So instead of just ordering things, you know, we could actually send them back if they didn't sell, like Barnes and Noble and all the other bookstores that have like walls and walls of anime that they're not, you know, beholden to, because they can actually return it for, you know, credit or whatever, unlike us. But so what they did is they said, you know, since season 2 is going to be starting pretty soon, you can order like trades, you can order hardcovers, compendiums, the omnibuses, whatever we have, you can order it. And you know, if you don't sell it by a certain time, then you can just send it back or whatever. So I ordered a bunch of stuff of every issue or whatever. A customer grabbed season 1, volume 1.
Oh, sorry. Well, I wasn't going to keep that. I wasn't going to. Well, that sounds like every girlfriend I've ever had says the same thing. I'm freaking Jesus Christ. Yes, I am. There we go. Sheesh.
Oh man.
Oh, this is like my last relationship. Keep it up. Don't share it. Share it. What? Make your bloody mind up.
Yeah.
So the customer brought it up. He brought up volume 1, and I looked at it, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, because usually what Image does, they're like drug dealers. They give you a taste. They price the first volume at $9.99, and then after that, every subsequent volume is like, you know, $14.99 or $16.99, because they want to get you hooked, and then, you know, they make their money after that. He jacked his price up from $9.99 to $14.99 for volume 1, and I'm like, why would you do that, dude? Like, is AMC not paying you the Walking Dead money? Like, there's no reason for that. And then that was around the time, the whole thing with him and Tony Moore not giving Tony Moore real royalties or whatever it was. You know, it left a bad taste in my mouth. So I don't know why I brought that up with Kirkman, but what was the reason why? Oh, you're talking about Walking Dead. Dead.
Yeah. We're talking about how
Tony Moore's working.
Tony Moore's doing a variant cover on it.
Yeah. Art Adams did the first, like, I think 3 or 4 issues.
Yeah, and then Dave's done like every issue since. Yep. Yeah, dude, those covers he did with the their faces, they're so cool.
Yes, and he also did. There was when they did a second printing, it was a 1 in 25 where you get a black and white one too.
Yeah.
I got all those. There were 6 of them.
He's been doing so many of them. At about 3 weeks ago, he did a tutorial on how to draw zombies. Because he's just like, I bet that's all I've been drawing for like the last 2 weeks. But they're awesome, by the way, guys. If you've never picked up Walking Dead, this is probably a good thing to get into, because it's basically like trades.
Yeah, and it's in color. It's in color. That's the most important thing. Because for some reason, people don't like black and white comic books. I don't know why.
Yeah, but
please, one of my favorite comic books was the black and white original run of Rogue Trooper.
So
back in the day,
that don't like the color in their comics, they're obviously not manga fans.
Well, isn't that because orcs are all colorblind anyway, so it doesn't matter whether it's in color or black and white?
Yeah, isn't that
orcs don't see color? We just see small pink squishy things that need to be stamped on.
But you do see pink. Okay, good.
Yeah, and then I'm getting I'm picking up Daredevil. Then I'm getting there's another fantasy book called Helm Gray Castle.
That did not sell. I ordered it. I thought it would.
Yep.
The art inside is nice.
Art inside's fantastic. Variant cover by Stefan Sejic, man.
Yes.
Dude, so what I'm getting is like Combo Bob, you're ordering all the stuff that does not sell.
In his area, apparently, man, like around here, dude, like Dye sells really well. Bequested did surprisingly well. A lot of the stuff that I mentioned that he said doesn't. That's the thing, man. There's different people everywhere. So a book that sells like gangbusters on the East Coast might not sell for shit on the West.
It would be very nice if all these bloviators that get on the internet and say, "Oh, this isn't going to sell, and this isn't going to sell," or whatever, take that into consideration, because they don't seem to do that. And this has been happening for a long time. Like when the pandemic first occurred, and this isn't a slight against the dude from Mile High or whatever, but the dude from Diamond, and there was one other dude, I forgot where they were from. They were like, "Oh, well, all the comic store needs to do is just get a warehouse and just order a ton of books and then put them in there and then wait for them to make TV shows and movies out of them." Like, but how is that going to help stores now? Like, I mean?
All you got to do is spend a shit ton of money now, and in the next 15 years, you might make your money back.
That's like Kim Kardashian or Gwyneth Paltrow coming down off of their mountains and telling the common people, "Oh, this is all you need to do. Get a candle and make it of your vagina," and stuff like that.
Oh, no.
Make a ton of money too.
Didn't you hear the news? Gwyneth Paltrow, she cracked during lockdown. She had bread. She did there was actually she did an interview. She's like, "Yeah, I cracked during lockdown. I had bread and up to 2 glasses of wine a day."
You hate to see it.
Yeah, that's a shame. It's just pure shit.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for her.
Can we have a moment of silence, please? Because
not with Bob here.
For Gwyneth Paltrow's dignity, sure. And then I'm picking up the Milestone Returns book, the Infinite Edition Zero.
I read that, yeah.
I'll be picking that up because I collected Milestone back in the day, and I want to see what they've done and how that's going to look going forward. But some good stuff on my pull list. Anything else? Is there anything coming out next couple weeks that you're interested in, man? You guys?
Adan?
Like I said, I don't really order stuff in advance, so I have a pull list. I did tell them to get Berserk for me, like issue, since they couldn't get issue 1, I have to hunt for that. But issue 3, they're going to get for me. And then I asked for Way of X at number 1 because I didn't get the number 1 because I heard about number 2, and I got number 2 because I'm so excited what they hinted at by the end of number 2. And because I watch other comic book stuff online, and I believe it was on. There's
other comic book stuff online other than us.
I know it
absolutely
blows my mind.
No, I refuse to believe that. Just like I refuse to believe the fucking face tracker's not fucking working again. And that's my one F-bomb for the show, folks, by the way.
You're speaking to us telepathically. See, this is what you can't get on other comic book streams.
Yeah. You have actually, a psychic orc, and I'm reaching out to all of my audience as well.
Yeah, I'll actually be picking up that one too. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, no, they were focusing on Nightcrawler and David Haller, who is Legion. And I got the variant too.
Christian Ward, yes.
And I was like, "Ooh, okay." I was sold just on that alone. And then at the end, I don't know if anybody wants a spoiler, but they hint at
Gambit.
Oh, no. I mean, this character is loved and hated at the same time. Onslaught.
Gambit.
Oh yeah. I know someone mentioned that.
I mean, he could be a Gambit.
The thing here's the thing that the only issue that I have with the X books right now is that Hickman's that guy that it takes him 3 years to tell a story.
True.
I don't think Hickman. I think somebody needs to do a wellness check on Hickman. I don't think he's in charge of anything. I don't know exactly what happened, but I mean, for somebody, because with the way House of X and Powers of X or 10 or whatever happened, he seems to be very demanding. Like he seems to be almost Joss Whedon-esque as far as like having things done in a specific way. I mean, it's almost like he has OCD, and it hasn't been exhibited. Like something like before the pandemic, when everything happened back in March, I don't know what happened to him. I don't think I know he's going to be doing a new X book, but for somebody who is that like into minutia, like it just seems like he's allowing everything else to happen, and there's nobody steering the ship.
Yeah, I think they stepped in and they made him make some changes and stuff, and it's completely thrown him off. And they're making him do things he doesn't want to do. Like I can almost guarantee you this Hellfire Gala thing. This is not his idea.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Guarantee. And they're kind of derailing everything because all the books are going to be dealing with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
then after that, the Trial of Magneto.
Yep. After that, the Trial of Magneto, and then but the thing that the cover for issue 20 of X-Men does make me think that they might be heading in this direction finally.
Is that the one with Nimrod?
Yeah.
Finally, it comes out Wednesday.
Yeah. That I think they're finally going to start. The other shoe's going to start to drop. I think the laces are starting to come off yet. It's not off the foot yet, but I think it's because it's Hickman and it'll take a year for that to happen.
So you think he's still around?
I think he's still around. I think he's trying to do his story, but who knows what's going to happen in between now and a year from now? Because
I hope so, because those first 12 issues were
great,
brilliant.
and he laid out so many little clues, like what happened to Moira's missing past life, like Moira, like everything's centered around Moira, and her living these lives over and over again and trying to change things, and then that life was missing. And then the whole situation with Nimrod. So he kind of laid this out. He's like, did Nimrod have something to do with that missing life? Is she being manipulated by Nimrod? Is the world that they're creating, because they're doing a lot of unheroes type stuff.
Yeah.
Is the world they're creating what's eventually going to lead to the world that Nimrod wants? So he laid all these little things out and then just didn't touch any of them. You know what I mean?
Could it still be done though? I mean,
I think it can still be done, but man, it's taken. The guild is starting to come off the lily, man. A lot of fans. I know the book still sells well, but a lot of the people that came back because of House of X and Power of X, they've fallen off.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because it's taking so long, and there's so much nonsensical stuff in between.
Although Hellions and X-Force are still good.
Hellions was a really good story. I was surprised by that. And Stefan Segovia's friggin' artwork is amazing.
Yes.
So if you're an art guy, man, that book is fantastic, man. He might be the best Psylocke artist next to Jin Lee. She looks awesome in that book. And I just love, dude, the way they use Mr. Sinister in that book is awesome.
Oh, I know.
He's such an unapologetic dick.
Yes.
He's awesome in that book. He's like, now hurry up and go die for me.
He's not as awesome as his cape though. He loves his cape.
Yeah.
No, his cape is.
It's like Spawn's cape, dude.
No, to me, it's like Doctor Strange's cape. Because if it had a personality, it will be just like that, I feel.
Oh, that's another book that I'm picking up next with my
Doctor Strange.
X-Men. What's the X-Men Legacy?
I was about to say, if they have a comic book based on Doctor Strange cape, I actually probably would get that.
Dude,
that would be so awesome.
Dude, pick up Strange Academy. Doctor Strange is in that book.
You mean?
Man.
No, I'm just saying based on his cape.
You mean X-Men Legends?
X-Men Legends. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So right now they're in the 80s with the Simonsons.
Yep.
This has been good.
Okay. Hey, dude, and I'll tell you what, Walter Simonson's art has aged a little bit. It's dated a little bit. Her writing is not, man. Her writing's still fantastic.
And they should see, this is the thing. They keep Brian Michael Bendis. I understand why they allow him to do multiple books, and it makes sense because he worked his way up. I don't want to see him do multiple books, but I understand why they do it. Marvel right now, there's somebody whose name is Vita Ayala.
Oh, God.
She is nowhere near like whatever the worst of Brian Michael Bendis is, and trust me, there's a lot of worst of Brian Michael Bendis. She goes beyond that, and they seem to have pinned everything on her as far as like the X-Men, because I think she's writing like 2 X books.
She's writing 2 X books, and they think she's got a 3rd one coming soon.
It's like, stop, give, okay, you want to get female representation in there, whatever. Louise Simonson, she's one of the OGs.
So good, man.
I mean, have her write it. I mean, of course, perhaps she doesn't want to do a monthly book. She can't do whatever the case is. Maybe we don't know. But I mean, at the very least, the offer should be there, and then it's just, I just don't know. I don't know.
Mirka and Dalfo is better than freaking Vita Ayala.
Yeah.
Why isn't she doing a next book? I mean, she just did 2 creator-owned books that did fantastic.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't get it. And then again, perhaps we don't know. Perhaps they're lowballing them, and they don't want to. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to. I could do my own creator book. I don't need this. This is like and maybe they don't feel a connection to. Who knows? You would just hope that they would go out and do it.
Yeah, there's only a few writers that I really believe can handle multiple books at the same time.
Yeah,
like someone like Hickman. If you leave him alone and just let him create, he will do multiple books and do them well.
Yes.
Yes. Most people can't do that because even someone like Brian Michael Bendis, you put him on one book, he'll probably do well. Okay. You split him into, at one time, what was he? He was doing 7 different books at the same time. I don't care how good you are. If you're spread that thin over that many titles, none of them are going to be up to par with your best.
Yeah. You're going to be
deluding And if you're yourself. Like him, where he was just basically out of ideas, they're going to be even worse. Yeah. So someone like Vita Ayala, who every book she's ever been on has failed. And I don't mean like it sold really bad over here and it sold okay over here. Every book she's ever been on has been subpar 5,000 copies.
The total number, yeah.
Failing upwards.
Like, don't they? I mean, I know DC doesn't look clearly. They don't look at their returns, but doesn't Marvel care about that stuff? Like, why would you continuously get subpar numbers for a book?
No. Who was it in the last week or so come out and said, I can't remember I can't remember who it was from Marvel. I think it was said we shouldn't be looking at
Kelly
comics
Sudaconic.
as that's it, Sudaconic. We shouldn't be looking at comics as an entity in and of themselves. We should be looking at them as idea farms for future IPs.
Yeah. At least she's being.
She did, didn't she? Bob? You know the article I'm talking about.
I'll give her credit for this. At least she's not pretending anymore.
Yeah.
At least she's saying, the comic book industry is struggling, and most of us just want to do TV series and stuff anyway.
They're all just chasing that Netflix deal.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody wants to be Mark Miller. Everybody wants to be Mark Miller, but they're not Mark Miller.
No, nowhere close.
Yeah. I mean, look at but I will say this: at least she's not, because she was only on the Princess. She's the one that said, "If you don't like my work, don't buy my book."
Yeah, if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book.
Yeah, well, So and they don't.
Guess what? The public voted.
Here's the thing that what bothers me about that situation there. I don't know why people get so insulted or butthurt that these creators seem to open their mouth and put their foot in there. Like, why?
I don't really care.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is the book that they're doing good? If it is, then who cares what they say? If it's bad, then it's just going to add to, why are they still continue to be allowed to do this? But there are people on the internet who over dramatize this entire thing. And it's just like, you know what? Who gives 2 shits what they're saying? Let them. Social media is just for people to say whatever they want, clearly. So let them do that. And as long as you're liking something that they're writing, just ignore all the noise.
It's I avoid social media bullshit like the plague. It's not my thing. It's a poor substitute for long form discussion. It was never meant to be used the way it's being used.
Yeah, well, you can't do long form discussion on it. I mean, I'm only on Twitter. I'm only on Twitter. I've only been on Twitter for about 3 months now, I think it is. And that's all because of the channel, the Planet of Nerds, which all you lovely people are tuned into right now with this awesome panel of guests, by the way. Now, I only created it for that, and pretty much everything I ever do is just retweet notifications of our shows that have been released, or if I see, because I'm not even on it every day.
Yeah,
pretty much Monday to Friday I don't even look at it because I don't even have it on my phone.
That live on it, man. They
24/7.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I use social media for three things: to promote things, to talk about wrestling,
and porn,
and well, yes. Well, no, I have
four things.
I got other things for that.
Is that really
and to talk and to keep communication with the people that I'm working with.
Yeah,
that's it. I don't get into Twitter beefs. I don't look up drama and stuff like that. And here's the thing: there are a lot of comic book creators that have different opinions and different perspectives in there than I do. If their work is good, the work is good. You know what I mean? Like Hickman obviously has some ideas and perceptions that I don't agree with. The work's good. So, and that's what we're supposed to be looking at. People can be whoever the hell they want. As long as the stuff that they're putting out appeals to me, I'm going to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I get you. I mean, I'm the same, because as I have it freely admitted, I used to be a big comic book man, but in the last 15 years, 20 years, life gets in the way.
Will infect you again.
Yeah. Well, trust me, there's so much I need to catch up on. Trust me, between TV shows, games, and books and comic books, I think I've got, if all new media was to stop tomorrow, I think I've got enough to last me about another 800 years. So it's getting time to fit it all in, you know what I mean, as well. But, and an actor, I could think that an actor's a piece of garbage as a human being. Trust me, folks, some of them are. But if it's a good movie that they're in, it's a good fucking movie. And that's my one F1 for the show. That's I'll watch it,
That's your third one F-bomb.
Stop it. We don't have David March in the chat, so he normally counts for me.
He's building.
I say that so that fucking if anybody manually reviews this shit, they don't. And I say sorry about that, that's my one F-bomb. They'll believe me because I have a face of pure honesty. So,
well, it is moving again. I noticed. So
yeah, I know. God damn freaking, I mean,
he rebooted.
It's this penthouse cave. It's fucking plays murder on the Wi-Fi.
It must, yeah.
No,
yeah, you need a booster. Isn't there a booster you can buy? A Wi-Fi booster?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'll see if there's one in the next village I burned down.
Yeah. I mean, just do what I did. Like, just, get a very long cable and run it right through.
Yeah, and steal it from you.
I had one of them. It's called the York Wang.
But what else?
Apparently, I'm not supposed to plug that in ports.
Yeah.
Don, what else are you picking up, man?
Oh, what else did I get? So I got issue number 2 of Alien.
Those covers, those Inuyukli covers are so good, man.
Yeah. Oh,
so nice.
I've seen the cover for the one that's coming out, and that looks cool.
It's the one with the girl on it. Oh my god, man!
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's Wednesday, number 3.
Yes,
I'll be getting number 3. But I mean, like, even when I look at like just opening up a random page here, like written right there, right, wrong way, this way, like that reminds me of Aliens.
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah,
Salvador LaRocca.
And there was
dude, that's a guy whose art, when you get a real good colorist with him, man,
this
is so awesome.
Here looks straight out from Aliens.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
God
Did
dang,
you get
man.
second printing?
Oh, yeah, that one. I have that one actually. Yeah. And
this is the second printing for number 1.
Yeah, I got that one, and it beautiful artwork.
Yes.
But yeah, it's going to be impressive. And I'm just, you saddened me when you told me about the situation with Predators. But yeah, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. And then of course I got the variant covers for like Berserk, not Berserker, with Keanu Reeves.
The foil. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they were sold out of that where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find one.
No, they had them at my store.
See, I don't even have a comic book store within 10 miles of my place.
This is number 2.
Oof.
Nice.
And then, of course, they had the black one.
Now I got
Oh,
that
yeah.
one. Now that one I got.
And
Yeah.
then of course I got.
I actually ordered that one.
this one. No, I didn't have to order any of these. They just had them on the
Oh yeah,
shelf.
that was the
No, I
second.
didn't.
Yeah, that's the second printing for number 2, I think.
I think it is the second printing.
Mhm.
But like, it looks great, and I just haven't had time to read these. But I'm like, I know this is a series.
Not
Just
for
based
nothing,
on what I've
Adan.
heard.
They
I wanna
are quick reads. You don't
Yeah.
have to like, yeah, you just you can read that in like 10 minutes or so.
You can tell that they're being written to be a movie.
yeah.
But like, that's why I'm not too like feeling like too bad that I'm not reading it initially, because I'm like, once I open it, I can tell like just by a few pages, I'm like, I'm gonna burn through this super quick. So if I have a few issues already stocked up, I'm gonna be burn right through it and be happy, you know. And then if I don't like it, I only burn through like maybe a few issues technically.
It kind of
Oh, no, you'll like it.
the whole thing reminds me of kind of like of Highlander meets The Order.
Yeah.
That's what someone made a similar reference to that, and I was like, sold.
Yeah.
Sold.
Henry Cavill is the Highlander, man. What do you guys think?
Oh, if that was to happen.
That is
Henry Cavill. It is having.
It hasn't been 100%. No, it hasn't been
Well,
100% confirmed.
It has been.
It's the same thing. It's not been funny. Come on, a month and a half ago or something, he'd been boning up on Mass Effect lore as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know,
Dude, I would straight
and
up.
so everybody immediately went, Cavill, he'll be playing Shepard in the Mass Effect movie. It's
Yeah.
been confirmed because he was on the set of The Witcher, I think it was, and people saw what he was reading on
They
the
forget
side
that
or something.
they forget he's a massive gamer.
Oh, he's a massive geek. Come on.
Yeah,
He was probably
Yeah.
boning up on the legendary thing. Yeah.
yeah. It's like I remember him in an interview where he was saying like he was playing the games and he thought the books were based on the games, and then like he found out that the books were actually before the games.
Yeah.
And he just delved right into them.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he is that kind of a geek that like
Yeah.
if he
Dude, he
finds
used to be a
out about
massive World of Warcraft nerd too.
Oh God, no,
Yeah.
he still is. He still is from what I
Well,
gather.
he's not. It's not as much as he was before. He's like I had to actually like pull back and stop for a
it.
while.
Oh, there you
Ooh.
go. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
the Spider-Woman book. We
and
were
that's the
talking
one
about.
I would
Yes.
I would have
Yes.
bought if I had a chance.
Look at that ass.
And that's how Marvel fixed the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, still would have bought it.
Yeah.
But what else you got, man?
Let's see. I got the Earth's Mightiest Avengers, number 45.
Cool, dude. I actually like
that's
the
Blade.
whole Blade man, mini man thing that he's got going on.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
Man Thing is just a fun character.
But when he turned it
Concept.
when Man Thing like covered his whole body in like the wood armor.
Well, this is after the whole Avengers and the Phoenix.
Yeah. You all right, bro?
Where they gave it to what's her face, Echo. The
Yeah.
Phoenix merged with Echo,
Yeah.
who is like the mutant version of Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Just Death.
Yeah, she's just I
Mhm.
really didn't want her to because I like her the way she was.
Yeah,
So she's such I'm more of a street level character guy. Like the big cosmic level characters are not like there's very few of them that I'm actually interested in.
I feel like it's going to be a short thing.
I do too
Really?
because
Yeah.
I do too. Yeah, I think they're setting it up for something that something's going to happen and that Phoenix is either going to end up with Jean Grey again or something like that.
There's going to be something that's going to
Can't
happen
say
with
that.
Thor.
That's the other thing. The other theory I had was that Loki was going to end up with it.
Mhm.
Well, she already potentially lied to him by saying that he's her daughter.
Mhm.
No, not daughter.
I mean, sorry, son. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Thor's his son.
That's her son.
Her
Yeah.
son.
That's her son.
Yeah.
that's her son. Yeah, which
Allegedly.
yeah,
We're gonna have to
which-
get more. We're gonna have to get Maury in on that. See what happens.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I can't remember if they said that she definitely was or that he kind of lied and said that he was.
I mean,
mean,
Odin probably hooked up with her once.
Probably
Yeah,
did,
so-
and because they also had that storyline where it was like the first Avengers, and
Yeah.
it showed Odin with the
With
first
the Phoenix, yeah. But dude, I tell you what, man, I want to see the fallout. If it does end up being true, I want to see the fallout between Thor and Odin because he'd be like, because he freaking worships Freya. So
Yeah.
Do you
his
think
mama.
they had to ask Donny Cates for his permission?
I don't know.
Mm.
Maybe, dude. Donny Cates
Hey.
is the big swinging dick over there right now, man.
Yeah. Do you think what do you think he's gonna be doing after Venom?
I wouldn't be surprised if he did like it's gonna be something cosmic because he loves doing the cosmic stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a Silver Surfer run or
Really?
maybe a Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, he already did Guardians of the Galaxy though.
Yeah, but he really liked it. So I would like to see him do like tackle like Galactus is gonna come back at some point. I would like to see him tackle like a story with Eternity, Death, and Galactus. Because the three of them are like they consider themselves to be siblings. That could end up being something really, really cool. Rope the Celestials into that, man. Like if he's gonna play with the cosmic stuff, let him play with the cosmic stuff. I want to see them all. I want to see Master Order and I want to see Lord Order and Lord Chaos. I want to see Death. I want to see
It's the face that you slap on.
The face
off.
But I put the face on and it looks really, really full. Like it fills up her face a lot. And this looks so much better.
Yeah.
You
Dude,
know?
that
Absolutely.
story, that
Let's
miniseries
see
he
here.
did about 3 or 4 years ago with Thanos, with the Gabriel Delotto did the artwork for it like 4 or 5 years ago. Dude, that was the way they did Death in that book was so awesome, man.
Yeah.
Because she just dicked with him, man. She screwed with him so bad.
Yes.
It was awesome. And then that led into the two Thanos miniseries where he basically rejected her at the end.
Which is awesome.
Which is awesome. Moment. Yeah, because he's been her simp for so long, man.
I was going to say, it's a shame they didn't have an iteration of her in the MCU.
I wanted them to do so bad, man. It would have added such an awesome level of to the character.
Speaking of Henry Cavill, somebody on Twitter posted this.
Yeah.
Like Henry Cavill as Cyclops?
Yes.
I mean, I can see that. I can actually see that
because he's big, he's tall enough. Yeah.
But look at this costume. This is the 90s.
This is the Jim Lee.
Like, yes.
I'd be 100% behind that.
Like, that blue yellow still would work.
Yes.
It's a ridiculous color combo, but if it done like that style, I would be okay with it.
X-Men Legends, the first 2 issues of that book, man, sold really, really well here. And it was so cool to go back to that era.
Even if it had Adam X in it, yes, it was.
Even a character as lame as Adam X, but it was still awesome, man. It was just dope because they went and they got a superstar writer. They went and got a superstar artist,
an original superstar
artist, yeah, with Brett Booth, and just that book knocked it out of the park for me, man. It was pure 90s nostalgia, and it was so much fun. That book was just fun, man. Like the first issue where it just ended, where Corsair comes off the friggin' ship and just goes, "Hi boys, say goodbye to your brother." Bang! Just shoots him. It's like, what? First off, it's like he makes this revelation that he's their brother, and then he just kills them. And they're like, "What the freaking hell, Dad?"
As much as I don't like Adam X, I would much rather have him be their brother as opposed to they were going to try to make Gambit.
Yeah,
I knew you were going to bring up Gambit again.
Brother. Well, I can't help it because they were going to denigrate the Summer's name by making him one of their family members. So
now,
which made no sense.
We talked about we were talking about Helion's earlier. The one thing about that book I don't like is that that Alex is insane. I like the first storyline, but I think after that he should have gotten better.
But is he really insane though?
Yeah, dude, you remember what happened in that first story, dude? He completely lost. Yeah,
but he's mellowed out since.
Hey, yeah, but man, dude, like that part where he used that when she takes his mouth away.
Oh yeah.
And then
Oh
he
yeah.
uses
Yeah.
that it cuts a new
To
mouth
cut it.
for himself.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, dude, what are you doing to my boy? Because I've always been like, I understand why everybody loves Cyclops, but Havoc is my boy, man. I love Havoc. Like that 90s when he took over X Factor.
Yeah,
I loved that
So
version.
I did
Really?
enjoy that version.
You
of
said
Havoc.
everybody loves Cyclops. Who's that? Because
Dude, every freaking creator talks about how much they love Cyclops, and
Oh,
then
so he's only
and
talking
they
about
always
the
and they
writers
always
and
kind of
creators.
yeah.
so they clearly don't have those creators working on the book because they intentionally pissed all over Cyclops for the longest
dude.
time.
Yeah,
The character assassination, man. Like,
And they're
I
like,
know.
oh no, this is to make him great again. I'm like, no, bro.
No, you're just fucking him.
Oh, dude, when they did that stuff when he murdered Professor Xavier with the Phoenix Force, and then they were just like, oh well,
Dude.
no, and then they're like, oh well, everybody's okay with it. It's like, no, you doesn't like. They're like, well, it was because of the Phoenix Force. Like, no, dude, he was in control when he killed him.
That's right.
Like that whole storyline was Cyclops' fault because he like the Avengers were like, look, we just want to be reasonable about this. We don't want to hurt Hope. We just want to take her off the planet, take her to the moon, and deal with the situation there away from population. And Cyclops is like, no, she's a mutant, and we're gonna do everything about it. You guys suck. And that's what it all came down to. Was Cyclops.
That's how they were. That's how they were doing Cyclops then.
In Cyclops' defense, he was also being manipulated by his lady Frost. I mean,
oh God,
things
yeah,
with
I can't
Namor
stand
too.
her.
And when you think about it that way, like, when was he in his right mind? She was always games,
he was.
Man.
Here's the thing, though. He still knew right from wrong.
Oh no, absolutely.
Cyclops still knew right from wrong. And when Hank Pym comes to you and says this is a good idea, you freaking listen to him.
Yeah, but when you have certain,
I don't always trust
female. When you have certain female elements at your disposal, you kind of don't really take right and wrong into consideration, especially when those female elements are like as easily on display as with somebody like Emma Frost. You know.
No, I have no idea what you're saying. Please elaborate.
That whole dude, for various reasons, whether and we could discuss why.
But no, there was an intentional character assassination of Cyclops. So
it's just like what they did. It's just like what they did to Peter Parker when they did the Spider Rock stuff, because they felt they needed a way to make Ock the hero. So they had Peter act in a way that was contrary to what he would normally do, and that's what they did. That's what they did to a lot of the characters that they did that swapping thing with, because they had this idea. They had this idea.
The Superior Spider-Man. I'm gonna like kind of contest that, because there were some really good moments out of that.
There were
no good moments I can think of for the Cyclops.
I was on board. I was actually on board for the Spider Rock thing until they did that. And then I agree that afterward there were some cool elements and stuff to it, like the relationship that he had with the dwarf lady. I can't remember her name. The way he would the way he would interact with some of his former villain friends and stuff like that. There was some cool stuff like that. But when they did that, it was the same thing that they did the whole Marvel Legacy thing, where it was this idea that they had where to lend legitimacy to the new, they had to either reduce, tear down, or kill the original. And like, you don't have to do that. Okay. Look what you did with Kamala Khan and Captain Marvel. You elevated Carol Danvers, and Kamala stepped into a role that was abandoned. You don't have to tear down the original to lend legitimacy to the new.
Yeah.
And that's what they were doing. And that's what they did. And they really did that to Cyclops. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
They wrecked him, man.
Yes.
Like that whole thing between him, the X-Men and the Inhumans, that entire period was just crap.
Trash. Yes.
It was so bad, man.
Yes.
But that's really what I think really hamstrung that entire period, was that mindset they had, that they just didn't have faith in those characters to stand on their own. So they had to find they had to tear down the originals to lend legitimacy to them. Because like the Thor stuff, the Jane Foster 4 stuff, there was some good stories in that.
Yeah,
And
that
the
was a
unworthy
great
the
storyline.
unworthy Thor storyline was awesome. It was really good. Like when he found the ultimate Mjolnir and he was so tempted to pick it up. You know, that was a great story. But it's just it's how it started, and then some of the stuff in between just crapped on it.
I had this argument with a customer on Wednesday, as a matter of fact, about like how they promote books. Like there's a mutant they're adding, and apparently he's gay. And I'm like, that shouldn't be the thing that you lead with.
No, that's not his selling point.
Like exactly. Yeah. I'm like, I'm okay with
he is.
I'm okay with him being gay, but like you should be with like, this guy is like Omega class mutant, his powers, his costume. I'm like, that's the thing you should lead off with, not because that's not being gay isn't a superpower. It's not like it's not the character's identity. It's who he relates to in his personal life, and that's important as part of his whole, the makeup of the character. But I don't understand why they do that. And when they do things like that, it turns people off, and you shouldn't do that. You should just make the character like and I brought up the Crying Game. I'm like, this movie came out in the 90s, and they didn't. This was before the internet, and there were no spoilers. You couldn't go find anything out. It's like, the ending is there's an ending so shocking and all other stuff, and you didn't know what the hell it was.
Well, no, it wasn't even the ending. It was like halfway in the movie or whatnot. And it was a very shocking moment. I remember because I had to watch that for a school project. And
what?
The hell kind of school project are you doing, man?
It was in college. It was in college. But still.
Kindergarten.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
But yeah, that was one of those movies. And it's a fantastic movie. But if you're not aware of it, you're going to be like, oh.
But that's part, like, what's the... I don't understand why that's a big deal, because like he brought up the thing too, like, well, they need to say it in the promotion, because what if they're reading a comic and then at the end he kisses a boy or something like that? And it's like,
so what?
So
and what's your point? You go with the story, the powers, the costume, the way he interacts with people. You don't highlight it. You just carry on as normal, and nobody cares.
And I love that stuff when they do a story and they focus on the story, and whether the character is gay, straight, whatever. And then as the story goes on, you get either hints or they flat out just say, yeah, by the way, I am this, and,
or like they're talking like,
I'm okay with this.
I hope I make it back to my boyfriend or something like
exactly.
that.
Yeah, build that attachment to that character that you want.
But you do realize though that there are people out there, like, in fact, Bob just said this, like, someone might not get the book because there's a gay character in there or something like that. That they don't even read it to see that it's good. I'm not going to get that because of this without reading it.
I have good friends that literally told me like, I'm not going to support Disney because they're trying to make it woke for like gay characters or da da da. I'm like, why should that make a difference to you? And they're like, because I don't believe in that. I'm like, but then they go, but I'm okay with gay people. I'm like,
I get
that doesn't sound like that way.
It's bad marketing on Disney's part.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I get both sides of the thing. It's bad marketing on Disney's part because there has been so many projects and stuff that have been ruined by that stuff.
Well, I'll tell you what I think it is because they don't have the confidence in the actual story, in the actual product.
Yes.
They know the product itself is garbage, so they sell it on a character's sexuality, shall we say, sexual preferences.
I can't.
They go, look, this is it, because the story is absolute garbage, but you need to watch this because they are gay or trans or whatever. It's like, no, give us a good fucking story and we won't care.
They seem to be under the delusion that, oh well, you know what? Hey, this has a black character in there, so black people are going to like this movie. There's a Hispanic character in there, so Hispanic people, and it's like, that's not how it works. Like you make people good stories, and that's
what they like.
For God's sake, look at me. I am the most underrepresented one on this panel. Every fucking movie they ever do, my race are the bad guys.
You guys have your day whenever there's a new World of Warcraft.
Apart from World of
Warcraft. Warcraft, you guys were good. You guys were cool. Yeah. I play horror.
Yeah, one lousy representation and misrepresented us really badly because nobody dances like that. Nobody dances like that. All right.
Dungeons and Dragons, man. Ford is half orc. So, there you go.
I will say, in like the Overlord's defense, the fact that they also throw it down everybody's face that they're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna incorporate this black character, this Asian character, this homosexual character, is also because there are groups out there that be like, we're not being represented, we're not out there, we're da 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 da.
I get it.
But what makes me laugh is those groups that say that are not the ones that buy your product.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so funny to me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you're listening to the people who are not going to get their wallets out. So why the fuck are you?
They'll
exactly.
talk
That's
about it
what one
on
F-bomb.
Twitter or Facebook or whatever, but yeah, they're not gonna be caught in a store.
Exactly. And I would say for those people, because I'm like, shut your mouth and wait for the product to come out. If it's there, if it's not there afterwards and you watched it, then yes, make that uproar. That makes sense. But if you never watched it and you don't know what's going to be in it, shut your mouth, wait for it, and enjoy it.
And there's also there's also these overreactionary people, like, and it happened with Spider-Man when 700 came out, when Peter died, and then it happened again with Secret Empire when Cap said Hail Hydra. And it's like, you literally just saw one issue, and the people, at least with Spider-Man, they didn't even read it yet because they'd come out the day after Christmas. They walked in and they saw, no, I'm not reading, fuck Marvel, and I'm done with them and whatever else. And it's like, but you haven't read it yet. You don't know what's going to happen. You
exactly.
And
for a lot of them, they didn't even read the issue. They just saw the one panel. That's all they needed.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now I get after the, like, when I saw the Hail Hydra thing, I was actually intrigued by it. Now, later on, when the story elements came out and I realized that they were actually retconning who Steve Rogers was, I did have some problem with that. But I was willing to give the story a chance. I was willing to give it a chance. I was willing to.
Yeah, you see that and you think, oh, that's an intriguing twist.
Yeah.
How are they playing this?
Because and to be honest, if they had just tweaked that one little thing where if they had stopped saying that this is the real Steve Rogers. If they had just gone with what everybody thought it was, which was the Red Skull manipulating him, still would have been a great idea, because the Red Skull changing reality and turning Cap into the Hydra's greatest weapon. That's an interesting story to see what would happen. Because then on top, in fact, it would have been better because now his friends realize that he's still that guy that they knew, but he's also so dangerous. That they can't hold back. They can't like, we got to take him out because it's the only way, because it's freaking Cap, because he's still just as strong. He's still just as powerful as
After that initial outrage, like they didn't do that storyline.
They did do that. No, they did do that storyline. No.
Yeah, but then they revised it a little bit, like what he said. And that's the funny thing. My mind refuses to accept the retcon of the retcon. So like the fact that they're saying that, like, oh yeah, that is the true Captain America and whatnot. I'm like, okay, I acknowledge that, but then I was like, no, it's still Red Skull manipulated it so that our true Captain America is this way, and that's how my mind will always see it. No, Red Skull did it. I don't care what anybody ever said.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, they should have done that before they said that. This is like, they went with the idea that this is him, and then. I think it was a couple of months later they did the story after the Secret Empire was done. They did the second story where they said, no, he's not the original Steve Rogers that everybody that's been around for 50 years. That's the real Steve Rogers. So that I put that failure on them. I do put the reaction that people had when they first saw that, when they saw that last page. That I put on reactionary fans. Yeah. But 100%. but when everybody got really upset with them after, when they came out and they said that this is the real Captain America, that I put on the writers because they did a sloppy job on that. And it severely hamstrung what could have been a really good story, because there was some really cool stuff that happened after that. But no, it's and the reason why they do a lot of that stuff that we were getting back to the original discussion we were talking about, the reason they do that is because they don't really have any faith in the product. But if they did give things their due, if they did take time to build characters like we're talking about, like a good example of that's Miles Morales. There was some pushback to Miles Morales when he first came out. Okay. But dude, I know you have problems with it, Mike. I know it's because it's Ultimate Universe stuff, but they took the time. They continued to push the character, and they continued to put time into the effort to that. Dude, Into the Spider-Verse was a great movie.
Well,
You
see,
know,
that's the one thing I
that's
will say about Bendis. Bendis picks a character and hammers them down your throat until you submit and appreciate that character. He did that with Miles. He did that with Spider-Woman. He did that with Luke Cage. He did that with Squirrel Girl. He does this. He'll pick a character and he'll literally bombard you with it until you're like, this is a good character. I love this. Where has this character
Bendis is
been
like,
all my
you
life?
will like this character.
It takes
Yes.
time. It takes time for those characters to find their niche and catch on. That's something that most companies, that the big two, don't want to do anymore. It's the same thing with Vertigo. Yeah. When Vertigo first came out, I can't remember what her name is, the lady who was in charge who created it.
Karen Berger.
Yeah, Karen Berger. She went to them and said, I need 3 years. She didn't go to them and say, I got this new idea. I got this thing I want to do. She said, I need 3 years to establish this. You need to give me time to build this, because initially it's going to be the reaction is probably going to be a little lukewarm, but you need to give me time, and I guarantee you I will build something for you. And DC said, okay, you've got your 3 years. And it took the 3 years to do it, because when a lot of the Vertigo stuff first came out, it didn't really catch on all that great. There were people that liked it. There were people, because like some of the people who were fans of the old school Swamp Thing from back in the 70s, and and
Alan Moore.
Yeah, those like that. But it took time for those books to catch on. But when they did, they found their niche, and they went. They don't do that anymore.
And at the very least, you should do like what I say, like if they ever did like another Hulk movie or something, like you can't make a solo Hulk movie. There's going to be other characters in there. If they were smart, they would grandfather these new characters in with older characters. Like you would create a new character and then have them star in, like that's why I guess some books are like worth money, because it's the first appearance of so-and-so. It's for, they won't do a solo title with that character until they know they have a character that people are going to respond to. And this is what they don't do. And this is also why I think they take characters and they either race bend them or tokenize them, because they want to have all the goodwill or all of the
they want immediate dividends.
Yes. And they don't want to do the work for it. And that's where they're lazy. And this is where all this happens, where people get outraged, and they should stop doing that. Create characters, play the long game, because everything isn't like, immediate. It's almost like the instant gratification that exists in this country has finally hit comic books, where they want to have it now. They don't do stuff like they did in the 80s and the 70s and even the 90s and whatever else, and this is where the comic book industry is suffering. This is why they can't really, come up with new characters who might not be tokenized version of characters, because people don't give them a chance, because now they just want Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, the main characters.
Well, it's not only that, but the companies don't give the characters time to grow.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
They don't give them time to find their audience. Like a good example of them really shooting themselves in the foot was Falcon and to an even greater extent X-23, because before they
now she's Wolverine,
whatever.
Hey, wait,
but the thing is
Wolverine.
She came out. She's not Wolverine, dude.
It's just a title.
I will.
It's a title.
Listen, it's the same thing that what happened with Fonda, like getting Thor's title. People were like, "That's not Thor."
This mantle shit pisses me off. It's this fucking name.
No,
then why is it Loki? Then why is it Loki?
Howlet.
Why isn't Loki called why isn't Loki called Laufey son?
Because he decided not to take his birth father's name.
That's it. Exactly. His name. It's not a title. It's his freaking name.
Done by your own argument there.
But anyway,
yes, but
X-23,
they be the worthy. They gained the power of Thor.
The power of Thor. When Beta Ray Bill took the hammer, he didn't call himself Thor.
Yeah, Beta Ray Thor.
But what was his name? The one of the Warriors 3, when he got the other hammer, he's like, "I'm War Thor."
Called him, yeah. Well, that was a dumb.
Well, he was drunk. Volstag's always drunk.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
But plus,
I think he was sober during
the
that
hammer.
time.
The hammer actually was possessing him. So
Yeah.
No, when X-23 was actually starting to really come into her own, and she was building a following, like her book, the book
Tom Taylor.
Yeah, her book sales were rising.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they did and like I actually kind of liked the Death of Wolverine. I wanted him to go out like a warrior, not with a whimper. But the idea
the art was
of him,
nice, but
yeah. The idea of him going out like that, and then obviously you knew they were going to bring him back. But when they made,
I didn't know that. That came as a complete and total surprise to me.
Dude,
How they brought him back was a surprise. And it was weak.
Yeah,
it was weak, but yeah, no, it wasn't a surprise.
I had no doubts that he was going to be back.
The
But then she took over as Wolverine, and after the initial #1 spike, the book just tanked. The book just went into the crapper because everyone was like, these people were like, she had her own story, she had her own thing, and she was building her own fans. And you took all that away, and you took all of his baggage and you dropped it on her.
Yep.
And it's like, this is bullshit. This is stupid.
Yep.
And they did the same thing to Sam. The Falcon comic was actually because he wasn't a sidekick anymore. It was actually gaining in popularity. And then they did, freaking Original Sin. Original Sin was a terrible freaking book. It's a terrible story.
I didn't mind that.
I hated that fucking book, man.
Really?
There's my one.
I'll give you one extra just for being a nice guest.
So kind.
But then they they took Sam, who's again, he's becoming his own character. His book sales are rising. He's getting popular, and they drop all of the Cap stuff on him. And it's just like, it was basically Marvel saying, we don't have faith in these characters developing on their own.
No, we've got to give them an existing.
We want immediate dividends. We want it now. And when the books start to slide, eventually we'll switch it back. But then the damage is already done.
Yeah.
Because when they did switch it back, and he was back to being the Falcon, and he was doing his own thing, those fans that were building, they never came back.
Gone. Yep.
They were gone.
Mm-hmm.
They never came back. And the book got canceled after, I think, what was it, like 10 issues?
Yeah.
Same thing with Laura when she came back. They tried to they couldn't even get a book with her going, and she just became a character in the X-Men.
Well, now she's going to be in the new X-Men.
Yeah, the new
Very
X-Men.
good.
Yeah,
the one that Rogue's in.
Why can't
a Gambit-less Rogue?
The Gambit-less Rogue, dude.
Yes.
You mean
His favorite kind of.
They're never gonna split those two up.
Gambit's going to get his own standalone.
He's still in Excalibur, and she's in X-Men. That's splitting them up, dude.
They will always,
unless they kill him, because somebody has to die in the trial of Magneto. So hopefully he'll die.
Oh, don't get your hopes up.
They can't resurrect him.
The thing that
they can't resurrect him?
Well, they can, but he'll be changed.
Oh no, he'll be dead. No, they can't. They'll lose whatever the gold balls can't bring them back or something like that. Whatever.
No, because when Nanny and Wildchild, Nanny and Wildchild died in Otherworld.
Oh, they can't. Yeah, well, that's Otherworld. Yeah.
Well, that's where the trials. Well, we don't know where the trial. Well, yeah, that's probably where the trial will take place.
Oh, well, if so, then they can't bring them back.
No, they can't. No, they can't. Yes, they.
What
did.
happens is
there'll be something that we've never seen before. This will be the first time.
Mike's like, don't ruin this for him.
They brought them back, but they were changed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it was still them. It was just that because their souls came from Otherworld, it altered them. So
he'll have a different accent. He'll have a different accent. That'll be what it is.
No, either it's the playing cards or all the pink that prevents him from coming back at all. Period, even changed or not.
You just don't want him to come back. You're like, no, kill him. Just kill him.
Get rid of him.
Throw him into the sun.
When they left his ass in Antarctica in like issue 300, I think it was.
Yeah,
I was so happy. Like, just go, just leave him there, let him freeze, whatever. And
Mike bought like 5,000 of those books. And
he did.
Don't care if these sell.
He's just ripped out that one panel from every single one of the books and just papered his entire bedroom with it. So he goes to bed every night. And he's just happy.
Copies of this issue. He's like, it's okay.
I'm just waiting for the other. Like I said, in Way of X, I'm waiting for the storyline from that to drop, where they realize that they're not really resurrecting everybody. that they're basically making a kind of a soul copy, because if you think about it, what's his name?
Technically, they're Xeroxing everybody.
Well,
Yeah.
no, because they said that they're taking their soul, because Proteus
Professor X
is
back.
well, no, Professor X is backing up their memories.
Yeah.
But Proteus is using his reality altering powers to pull their souls. But the thing is, he's not powerful enough to do that, because his reality altering powers only go to a certain distance.
Yeah, it's
Isn't Proteus,
localized.
isn't he Omega level though?
He's Omega level, but he's never been able to reach out.
Yeah, he's not beyond Omega.
More than a few, more than like 100 miles. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he's Omega level. He might be Omega level, but I know that his powers have always been localized.
Yeah, like
So
like
what
I
I think
remember
he's
him in
doing-
the Exiles. Like even at that
Yeah.
point, like he needed a host
Yeah.
to like really contain his power, and even when he found like the perfect host, it was still localized to a certain range.
Yeah, it was like the most he's ever been able to alter reality is within like 100 miles.
So you're saying
So
everybody
here's
that's
what
brought
he's
back
doing
is
is-
soulless?
I think what he's doing is he's duping souls. So he's creating a copy of the soul, which technically means that the original person is still dying.
Mhm.
So what happens, and that brings up, and I think they're going to do something like this because of the religious aspect of that book, is like, what happens when there's two of the same soul? What happens when there's five of the same soul? What happens when they die, or
Yeah.
what that?
Are you really
So-
getting like a fraction of it, or is it like,
yeah,
if you're making a copy of a copy at that point, is it really the same soul?
is it really the
So,
same soul?
so basically,
anymore?
you're saying this is going to lead into like a Jamie Madrox Dead Mutant crossover or something like that? you know?
Something. I think this is
Copies
going to
versus
be.
copies.
I think this is going to be one of those things where it's going to be what basically breaks Krakoa, because
Well, what about the other place that's connected to it now? Well,
No, that-
Krakoa's brother.
Is it his brother, or is it's his mate? It's his sister.
No, they're siblings.
I think it was its
wanna
mate.
say.
It's his. I thought
Because
they were
they
still mates,
used
though.
to be. I thought they used to be like one of the same
They,
island. And
they used
split.
they used to be one. They were split. One was male and one was female, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought they were siblings.
No, they may be siblings, but they're also like one entity.
Well, they're plants. I mean,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
really make a
it's-
difference.
But I think that's going to be one of the things that breaks that causes the end of Krakoa, because the whole reason why they're doing these resurrection protocols is that everybody's like they have no fear of death, you know,
right?
because they could go and
because they know.
I think this is going to be one of the secrets that the professor, and that, because there's supposed to be like 5 secrets that Magneto, Xavier, and Moira are keeping from everybody.
Mhm.
And I think that's going to be one of them, is that that he's basically sacrificing their humanity. He's like, we're not really creating, we're not really resurrecting you. We're creating copies of you after all.
Yeah. I mean, which can also lead to why they don't want clones anymore.
Yeah.
And they're not refusing to let clones onto the island, as well as promote resurrecting the clones if they die.
Yeah.
I think allude
yeah.
into that.
I think that what's going to happen with that is either Laura or Honey Badger is going to die, and they're going to refuse to bring him back. And that's going to completely set off Laura and Logan.
Yeah.
Because right now Logan is, and I also think that one of the secrets they're keeping is that the Xavier is low key altering people's minds.
Oh no, and
Keeping them docile.
they've touched on that. Multiple times.
Yeah, because they just did that. Yeah, they just did that story where he admitted that he's actually read their minds against their will before.
Mm-hmm.
Where he just openly admitted to it.
Like even Domino, like the one series where she's like finding about the clones of her, and like as she gets scarred, and she makes Colossus swear to her, he's like, if I die, do not let them resurrect me. And like she's like, because I don't want them to wipe out my memory of this experience or whatever, something like that. It was like some really crazy stuff, and like he was contemplating of like killing himself because they have so many different interesting concepts. Like he wanted to be resurrected, so he couldn't remember. Like
so he couldn't remember. Yeah, so he would lose the memories of that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's also, well, we all know that the catalyst for the whole thing is going to be Mystique. because of the fact that she got that letter from Destiny, who told her it's like something's going to happen. You're not going to. She's like, you're not going to understand, but when you see it, you'll know. And when you do, burn it all to the ground. And because she did that mission for them, where it was that lady that was creating that Sentinel satellite thing.
Yeah.
She did that mission, and she found out that one of the things that they said is that they would never resurrect, because she's like, I want my wife back, and they're like, well, we'll work on it. And then she found out that she said they're lying, because Destiny said they're lying to you. They'll never bring me back. And then, like she said, something, you're going to see something, you're going to find something. And when you do, and you'll know what it is, burn it to the ground. So I think she's going to figure out, I think she's going to kill Krakoa.
Yeah. I mean, didn't they, that was one of the other things. They don't want any precogs.
No precogs. Yep. That's the reason why she told her that they're lying. They're never going to bring me back. Mm-hmm. She's like, because she's one of the precogs.
Which is so funny to me. That's like, you're having a mutant society, and yet you're becoming the most isolatist,
racist,
pretty much racist with your own people.
Yeah.
In that sense. And the irony of that is stupefying.
Yeah. They're creating a classist society where it's like, oh, you're a clone. Yeah. You're not one of us. You don't get to come back. You don't get to reap the rewards and benefits, even though you're one of the people. Like Laura is one of the people that went into that friggin' maze.
The vault.
Yeah. The vault. Yeah. And even though she's doing that, they're like, if she dies, we're not bringing her back.
Yeah, they're willing to sacrifice her because of that.
Yeah, they're willing to let her die for good. And it's like, screw you, man.
For their cause.
But I think it's either going to be either Laura will die. I think it's more like that Honey Badger is going to die, and they're going to be like, we'll bring her back. And the Quiet Council will be like, no. Mm-hmm. And then I know Xavier at the very least is manipulating the Quiet Council. At the very least, he's doing that. But I think he's low key altering people's minds and keeping them obedient and docile, especially with that whole Crucible thing. Like in the first issue of Way of X, when they're doing the Crucible thing, and Kurt realizes we're losing our humanity because these people are cheering these people being murdered.
Yep.
And it's not like some kind of thing that has to happen. They could do this very humanely and be like, you want to be reborn as a mutant again, get your mutant powers back, just give them like a lethal injection and let them just go quietly or something.
Well, that's what I liked about issue 2 about Way of X, when he has a moment with David Haller, who's like pretty much losing his mind. His mind was already lost, but he's losing it more than he's ever lost it before.
He's losing control of all of his different minds. Yeah,
exactly. It's going berserk, and he's a character of a power level. If you don't get that in control, it's gonna be like a bomb.
I think he was the first person that they called an Omega level mutant. It was either him or Apocalypse.
I think Apocalypse may have been, because Apocalypse was definitely before Haller.
But the term Omega level mutant is only something that's come out in like the last 10 years or so.
Probably.
Yeah.
But either way, and Kurt knows the resurrection process would put his mind back, or theoretically would put his mind back.
Yeah.
And then he tells the other characters not to do it, and he does it because out of an act of mercy rather than out of act of let's just do it. Not as murder. So he's willing to take that upon himself. But at the same time, he's doing a prayer, and he goes, you know what? Never mind. And he just does it anyways. But he's such a conflicting character. I love Kurt Wagner's character because of that.
Yeah.
And then, so Way of X, if they continue with that kind of theme and what you're talking about, some of the Easter eggs that they're dropping in there, I think Way of X is going to be kind of cool and fun.
Yeah. It's an interesting read. It's definitely because I think a lot of people thought it was going to be a lot of Omnidominus, the mutant religion, blah 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 blah. But it's more
what's his name? Because they keep doing that with Nightcrawler. They keep not straddling the line, pushing them over with the religious stuff or whatever. Who's writing that book, by the way?
I can't remember
because I don't see it on the. I have the Christian Ward cover. I can't. There's no credits on there.
Yeah, I can't remember who's writing it, but they're doing a good job so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like I said, it's less about religion and more about like Kurt's investigation into them losing their humanity, losing their souls, because they're literally like go ahead, man.
No, well, I just pulled it up because I got the book.
Yeah.
C. Spurrier.
Oh, Cy Spurrier.
Cy Spurrier.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're the writer on the book.
Yeah. But the whole book is basically him, because he's supposed to be helping them create a mutant religion, but he's looking like, we're losing our soul, we're losing our humanity, because not only are they doing the Crucible thing where they're celebrating, it's like the gladiatorial days of like bread and circuses. They're like cheering for these people being slaughtered. But they're seeing the young mutants are like, how many times did you die this week? I died 3 times. It's like they're trying to find cooler ways to die.
Oh, was that like Quentin Quire? Did they kill him? Like his name died 30 times already.
I think he he holds the record. Like there's even like one point in one of the comics where it goes, not again, as he's dying. And
it was in X-Force, I think, is where it all happened.
But didn't that happen first in Spaceballs? Oh no, not again.
Yeah. But it's so funny because he's like a omega level mutant. He's super powerful, but he just dies so often.
Yeah. Well, it's because he's a dick.
This is true too.
He's such a dick, man.
He's supposed to be like super intelligent, like with a lot of power.
He's not as much of a dick as he used to be.
He just dies.
He's still a dick, man. He's still a pretty big dick, man. And dude, that's one of the storyline things that happened. I was like, dude, no. Where what's her name? One of the Cuckoos is now his girlfriend. I'm like,
well, actually, weren't all the Cuckoos his girlfriend?
Well, no, when he tried to force them to. But he's because he was taking the mutant growth hormone, and then he tried to capture the Phoenix Force so that he could make Sophie love him. Dude, he's the reason why 2 of their sisters are dead. There used to be 5 Cuckoos. Now there's only 3. And I'm like, the dude has done some seriously messed up stuff, especially to them. And you made one of them his girlfriend. This is this is one of those pieces of writing where I'm like, no, they should hate him forever. Ain't no way in hell, man. I do think that it's funny though that a lot of the times when he dies, it's because of Wolverine. Wolverine keeps dragging him on missions and stuff for them, and he's kind of like just kicks him out there. And he's like he's cannon fodder.
I mean, that's probably why. Like Wolverine's like, I still hate you, man.
Well, I know, the first time that they died was because they got cut off. Their bodies got cut off when they went through the gate. They got cut in half.
Yes,
which was hilarious. Because the way Quentin just was like, oh, and then thump. It's like shit. But that was surprising when they did that book Wolverine and the X-Men. When Wolverine was running.
That was Jason Aaron.
That story that they did with Quentin Quire when Quentin was like messing with that, and then Wolverine started going crazy and went berserk, and he's like, "Oh shit, he's hunting me! I don't know how to stop this guy." He's like, and then he went. I can't remember who he was. It Psylocke or somebody? He went to. He's like, "Yeah, I really need your help. I created a freaking walking weapon, and it's gonna murder me. I can't stop it."
Wait, that's one thing that always got me. Like, if you have a telekinetic that is like omega level, you could theoretically just launch them into the outer atmosphere or just throw them like across the continent or something like that, right? And
I think it was a mental thing, like a piece of when Wolverine went berserk, the piece of Quentin's mind was stuck in there with him, and if he killed Quentin in his mind, Quentin would die for real. Because Quentin created this so it was Quentin created like a psychic cage. Yeah, Quentin created like a psychic cage in his head, and then Logan's insanity kind of took control of the cage. And then Quentin was like, because he wasn't like reaching out to them physically, he was talking to the side like the other side gets mental. He's like, "I really need you to come here and do this because I'm gonna die if you don't." But
okay,
Yeah, it was freaking hilarious, dude. And that was also the one where Wolverine ended up in the wheelchair for a couple of days because the aliens shot him with the molecular thing and broke his legs. And then the adamantium was like, we can't touch your legs because they're freaking made out of adamantium. So we're gonna have to go back to that satellite where the aliens were. We have to get whatever weapon is they used on you and bring it back here and fix you. And that was all because of Quentin, because Wolverine took Quentin to this. It was basically like an intergalactic casino.
Yes.
And he was using Quentin to cheat because they were trying to make money for the school. But there were some really cool stories in that book, man.
Yes, there was.
But what about you, Mike? What do you got on you? What are you reading personally?
I don't. Well,
I love the way Mike just turns around and looks
Mike
at the
just turned
entire
around and
store.
Yeah.
He's
Let
like,
me think.
I can grab this.
This entire shelf is this week.
Nightwing's been pretty good.
Yeah.
By Tom
nice.
Taylor.
I'm so glad he's back to being himself.
Yes, and some of the layouts in that book is incredible.
Yeah. The art
Bruno
looked really
Redondo,
good.
I think, is doing the art.
Yeah, the art will look really good on that.
I read Amazing Spider-Man for this week.
Wait, did you get the Man Thing one? Did you read that one? Because I just
No,
got
I
that
have
one.
the Man Thing. This one here.
Yeah, I just got that one.
No, this is part of. Do you have the other parts? Because
I have the Avengers one.
You don't have the X-Men one?
No, should I
The
get
X-Men one comes after this.
Okay, well then that hasn't come out yet. I haven't got it yet.
Oh, it's out.
No, oh wait, it did?
Yeah.
Ah, sugar. Okay,
You can
so
swear
now
on this channel, Adon. You can swear on this channel.
Keep me to practice. So then I have to get the X-Men one. Okay.
Oh, did you see this? Actually,
No,
Yeah.
Is
it
I think
is
that's
it-
the one I have.
that's the Avengers. This is the second printing.
Hmm. I have that one.
I thought that had like the UV coating on it for a second there. I was like, oh, that looks
Oh,
awesome.
no.
She's like, bring it up closer to this camera. Get that UV code.
Did you see X-Core?
X Corp.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't
No.
seen that one.
I heard both good things and bad things about it.
I'm intrigued by it because it's an interesting idea.
Mhm. But it's Teenie Howard, and she did Excalibur,
Mhm.
and it takes a lot for me to not read a book that Rogue is in. I mean, despite the fact that Gambit was in it too.
Yeah,
But I tried reading it, and I was not.
it wasn't great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, to be fair, I never Captain Britain and all that nonsense. The only time I enjoyed it was in Excalibur, like the
Mhm.
Chris Claremont Excalibur and Alan Davis and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
I don't
yeah.
don't like that Brian is not Captain Britain anymore.
really,
I don't like that.
I mean, they kind of share
would-
the title now.
I would have been okay. I would have been okay if because there's also there's the other title, the Lionheart,
Mhm.
which is powered by the Pendragon, which is what King Arthur.
yeah.
The King Arthur. They could have given Psylocke that if they wanted to have her be part of that mythos, that mythology.
But they did it the other way around.
Brian to me is Captain Britain. Brian Braddock is always going to be Captain Britain to me.
They'll probably get it back eventually.
Eventually, it just seems silly to do. Because again, you don't have to tear Brian down to elevate Betty to like
Mhm.
Betsy.
They don't
And I
know
know that because they separated her from Psylocke, that they think that they had to give her something, but she was a cool character before she became the ninja.
Yeah.
Just let her be who she was. I don't get it.
her own thing.
Yeah,
Develop
let her be
as
her own damn thing. Give her back the armor that she had before, which was really dope. Because that suit of armor she had with the hood and everything was really cool.
Mhm.
I love that look.
Mike, have you read the Immortal Hulk Time of Monsters?
No, not yet. But I did look through it, and the art in there is fantastic.
Yes.
That's been a book that's been largely good since it started, man.
But unfortunately,
Since it started, they've done
it's
more than
almost
one.
ending.
Yeah.
Number 50 is the final issue.
Yeah.
Oh, what of Time of Monsters?
No, Immortal Hulk.
The Immortal Hulk.
I
That's
was
a
gonna
one
say,
shot in your hand. That's
Yeah,
a
that's-
tie-in.
Yeah.
So like I only read the first half, which is like the one story, and I haven't read the other half yet.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, you're right. The art looks
Dude,
beautiful.
Did you read the first story arc for the Immortal Hulk?
I'm familiar with it. It's like a horror novel.
Oh, it's so good,
So
dude.
good.
Completely.
So good.
It reminds me of the heyday of the Swamp Thing when Swamp Thing was like a horror comic, man. It's so good, man. That story where he buries that guy.
And then he comes back.
Oh my!
Oh my God.
The guy's he keeps killing people because
But
he's
not
reacting.
intentionally.
Yeah, well. Yeah, but he keeps going around them, and it's like and like the Hulk says, is like you keep doing this because you really actually want to do it, you know, because so he's like, the guy's like, I just want to be left alone. He goes, okay, so he buries him. He buries him like 100 feet below the ground. I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah,
It's so good, man.
I like what they're doing with Miss Joe Fixit.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the leader storyline they did. They made the leader scary as hell, dude.
Dude, he's like from beyond, like the Doctor from Beyond mixed with the Thing in that storyline is so crazy,
dude. That they took that character because that character was always kind of, to me, he was always kind of like a D-list character.
Now wait, how did you guys read this?
I read it monthly.
Okay.
I was informed by other resources digitally.
Adan.
But I have been sparingly, when I get a chance, I buy the books.
Well, see, I know monthly this happens, but I don't know if they did it digitally. Monthly, you would get a 1 or 2 page backup, or not backup, but like a letter column sort of kind of, where Al Ewing would talk about his sources for the stuff that he just did in the issue that you just read. And it broke it down, and his influences, and even the music he was listening to when he was doing it and stuff like that. Yeah. And it just made the book that much better, because when they do stuff like that, it's like, I mean, they did it with Saga when Brian K. Vaughan still alive? And if he is he going to finish Saga, or are we just going to leave it where it ended?
He keeps saying he's going to finish it, but he never does anything.
It's been how many years now? It's been a couple of years.
It's been 2 years.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about J.R.R. Martin for a second there.
Dude, he's almost as bad.
He's almost as bad. It might as well be.
It's been at least 2 years.
Oh,
yeah, it's been at least 2 years that he stopped. And he claims that there's a final arc that he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's been 2 freaking years, dude. Are you ever going to do it? He hasn't even said he's working on it. He just keeps saying he's going to do it.
During the heyday,
it's going to come out there eventually.
During the heyday of Saga, like, he had letter columns in there, and those letter columns were sometimes as good as the story that was in the issue. And every issue, he would give something away. His dog, Hamburger, would pick a letter. Actually, just picking the letter just by flop. He would throw the letters down on the ground, and whichever one he flopped on, that's the letter of the month. And he would get like random stuff off his desk. Like, he'd be like, "Oh, this is the award I won, like, for this book," or, this is the manuscript for this or whatever. Yeah. And those things like make the experience of reading the comic book that much better. Yeah. Walking Dead used to have something like that too before it didn't. But so yeah, when you read stuff digitally, I don't know if they do that, but you could potentially be missing out, Adan.
Yeah,
so
I don't doubt it, because there's sometimes like when there is nothing anybody could ever say. I mean, I read stuff digitally because obviously it's convenient, but there's nothing to say that it does not detract from the experience as to when you're holding it in your hands and you're flipping through the pages and you're actually reading it.
And legitimately, do you not get a headache reading it? And I'm not being like sarcastic about it either.
Oh no, I know what you mean. I have read books like I used to have my PC hooked up to my big screen, and I can't do it. I can't read my books through there, and I would like, it's just huge, but like I could never do it. It was I had an easier time reading it like on my tablet or my phone. Occasionally, depending on the book, on my PC, but like if I do it for a prolonged period of time, it feels uncomfortable.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like. I back a lot of indie books and stuff like that, Indiegogo, Kickstarter, stuff like that. And sometimes it's just I don't have the money to buy the full version. I'll buy the PDF if I have to. I'll buy the digital version if I have to. Really don't like doing it because I can only read like 2 or 3 of them, and then I'm like, I got a headache. I don't want to.
Yeah. I've only read one digital book, and that was Batman number 16, I think it was. It was the final issue of The Death of the Family for the New 52.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Okay.
And what happened was the week that came out, it was I think it was in March, February or March, and we had a snowstorm, and the snowstorm was about we got about 3 feet of snow. So it got to the point where UPS is like, UPS was like, hey, you're not getting your books on time this week. And I knew some dick on the internet was gonna spoil what happened in the final issue, of the storyline. So I'm like,
you wanted to beat them to the punch.
Yes, I'm like, I got to get in front of this. I got to find it and read it. That way I know. And like, number one, I felt so dirty reading it. And number two, like I had a really bad migraine after doing it. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't for me. Like, dude, there's nothing like holding a book and,
So I will say this.
I fully agree with you, Mike, by the way. I fully agree with you, Mike. I'm out of the comic book game recently. For the last 15 years, not been buying the comics, but I have over 1,000 actual novels. People keep asking me, why don't you get a Kindle or, do some form of e-reader tablet? It's like, because I'm not staring at a freaking screen all day long. I want to have the book there in my hand. I want to feel it, the texture of the paper, see the print, whether they've gone the larger format print or the smaller format print when they do the, just to have the experience of actually having it there.
Yes.
Going into a shop and buying it, not just clicking download.
I think
what I mean?
It's something to. I think it's something to do with just it being digital and that unconscious view of the refresh rate or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
It has to do with the lighting, like the
motion,
the refresh rate. Yeah.
If there's no motion, because I can play video games for hours.
Badly.
Oh yeah.
But there's motion, and it's you know what I mean. There's motion, there's change in lighting, there's depth of field, stuff like that. Just looking at a static thing, and the same thing happens to me when I'm drawing sometimes. When I'm drawing with my digital pad, I'll start to get a headache because I'm looking at the same image, especially when I start getting done with it. I'm looking at this same image. And it's not moving. It's not doing anything. It's just there. And I'll just right here. I'll just start getting a sharp pain.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I got to stop doing this for a little bit. Cause even though I'm in there moving the picture around a little bit and I'll turn it a little bit, most of the time it's just static. It's just right there. And I think it's got something to do with that. That's the reason why, because like I said, I can watch movies for hours. I can play video games for hours and it doesn't bother me, but man, trying to read a freaking something as like a static image or like a book or something like that, I can't do it.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. So
I'm also addicted to newsprint. So
I will say this in my digital defense, most of the digital comics I ever read are the mangas, because
I get it. No, I get it.
I'm not going to get those here.
It doesn't. Yeah.
And I also, I signed up for that. Was that God dang it, Shonen Jump? They had that monthly thing for like $5.
Yeah,
and it's like their entire library for $5. I'm like, how can I not buy? Even if it's just so I can look at a picture and take a still shot of it and like use it in a drawing and try to learn from a drawing of it or something. How could I not take that friggin' opportunity, man?
I mean, even at that, even if take away there are 5 major titles, they still had like hundreds of titles,
and whole freaking libraries of those titles.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one series that I was looking on there had like 140 volumes. It was it was like Ranma One Half or Roroni, something
it was like City Hunter.
Yeah, something like that. I'm like, Jesus, dude, they could take a whole year to read that. But yeah, like I couldn't pass up the deal. But at the same time, I knew I wasn't going to be reading a lot of it. because my brain would be. I'd feel like someone was stabbing me in the eye with an ice pick.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta take off, guys. It is 12:06 here, and
Well, okay, well,
I didn't
I
get
was
done
gonna
with my
say-
full list.
I'm
What's going
sorry.
on here?
yeah. Well, no, because what time is it there, Bob?
It is 12:06 here. The only reason I have to
It's
leave is
5.
because-
It's 6 minutes past 5 in the goddamn fucking morning for me.
yeah, nobody cares, man.
Jesus Christ! Oh, I'm gonna shove my fucking fork foot so far up your fucking Jesus
But-
Christ! But no, I mean, that's okay, folks. Since Bob is wimping out early, I'm thinking this is a pretty good place to end it today. I'm going to start by thanking Mike at Rogue Comics Online for being a fantastic guest as always. Bob,
Thank you, sir.
sorry, Mike. Tell us where they can find you as well. Any sociables?
Yeah, you can go to roguecomics.online. Everything is there, or direct.me/roguecomics. That has all the. It's like one of those link tree things, but it's prettier. And yeah, it has all of it, like all the social medias I'm forced to participate in that I really don't want to. They're all there.
Yeah.
All
And by the way, folks, I do believe they are all listed down in the bottom of the description of this video as well. But next we're going to go with Adan, the pizza hater,
I
man who will let us all starve. He spends 6 hours cooking food, which,
And
by the
brought
way,
none of it
folks,
here.
was an awesome stream. Yeah, and he didn't bring a single iota of it for us.
Not one.
When asked, he went, "Oh, it's all in the fridge."
It is. I'll find a way to get it to you guys like super, by that like super well prepped. But I'm just gonna say, by the time I figured that out, that probably have gone bad. I'm just gonna call it.
Yeah, maybe. But so, Don, where can we find you?
I'm NerdTots. That's where I'll be. So right now, all our videos are on NerdTots YouTube. You can hit us up on Twitter. We have a Facebook, but I haven't checked like last time we were on there. Instagram, and we just do D&D watch streams, and apparently now I do cooking stuff. So it's fun. It's fun. We just like to hang out and do stuff.
Dude, I have to say that cooking stream you was awesome with the 2-camera setup. It looked
Thank you.
really cool.
How many views did you get on that, man? You must have did pretty well.
Well, you know what? I actually didn't.
He didn't
check.
even look.
I want to look, man. That might be a new thing for you.
I was doing it for 3 hours and I got 160 views.
3, try 6.
Oh, well, wait, was that the right one or was that wrong?
No, that one. Yesterday's for me was 6 hours.
Oh, no, it says streamed 3 hours ago. You're right. Thank you for correcting me. I was looking at the wrong thing. It's been a long day.
Tell me about it.
I did 6 hours and I got 160 views.
That's not bad. It's not bad. It's all good.
Not bad for us.
For your first food video, man. Keep
No, it's
going.
just second.
Second, but
Although this time he was flying solo because his mum wasn't there.
like she was doing her own thing, and then she would just like jump in and like hip check me, and she's like, "What you doing?"
Doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's a great, like I say, that fucking layout, man. The main camera overlooking the whole kitchen. Yeah, I was hoping to see your mum, but it never happened because you can't bring the talent on every week, otherwise people get spoiled.
That's
And then
true.
you got the other camera, the secondary camera on your prep area. It was cool, man. Mike was actually talking about, I want to go around his house and cook as well.
I got the suggestion from last time. Like some people were saying, like I should just focus on the actual food, and I was like, well, I got multiple cameras. I should try to do this, and I want to prepare for I got a vacation coming up where I'm going to be in Vegas, and I'm probably going to be streaming, and I want to test out what I can do when I'm out there. So,
Wait, you're going to Vegas?
yeah, I'm going to Vegas.
Why?
I'm actually going with some of the other YouTubers there for the CinemaCon. And so I'm going with Andy and whatnot. So we're going to be meeting up there. And
There's zombies out there, right?
Yeah, you know what? I prepare. I got like my skull mask. I'm gonna bring some. I don't know if they'll let me on the plane with Nerf blasters. Like I'm doing like a few sit-ups a day. What, like 5 sit-ups a day? You know, to get into the ready shape. I can handle that.
Yeah, we saw that with your apron earlier.
Exactly. It's like my little leopard apron that I have. I think that's a leopard, like a baby leopard.
But yes, no, go check out Mike at Rogue Comics, Adan at NerdTots, and Bob, who is been a wild Bob. And just okay, so anyway, I'm going to vamp for a minute whilst we wait for Bob. So la da da dee, la da da da, la da da dee, la da. Dancing Orc on the screen, Dancing Orc on the screen. Right, but anyway, I'm bored of that now. It's fucking annoying. Can't be bothered anymore. My legs are aching. But folks, if you've enjoyed the video, you want to see more content like this, or actually worse content, let's be honest, because it'd be just me and Chris most of the time. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because Christ almighty, we need all the help we can get. So if Bob's not back in the next 45 seconds, then I'm going to assume he's fallen down a manhole. So there he is.
like it takes it out there. But yeah, you can check me out at Comic Book Bob on YouTube, on Twitch. I do gaming. I also do drawing videos. Occasionally do an unboxing and doing some comic book reviews. Yeah, do that.
He's so winded.
Yeah, I
ran to the gate and I ran back.
What? Because you forgot your laptop or something?
No, there was a truck was coming through the gate over there. I had to open it for him. Okay.
All right, fair enough.
I'm at work.
Yeah, we know that. We know that.
Talk about comics at work.
Hey, you get paid for that. You know,
yeah.
Come on. Lucky you.
Is that what they call it? All right. But
well,
cool.
You know,
take us home, Kev.
So, everybody, last time, thank you, everybody, for watching. Check us out. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with the next episode of CKMY. And once more, I'm going to say thank you very much to my guests, Mike, Adan, and Bob. Thank you very much, folks. We'll see you on the next episode. Laters.